Okay. Can you see it?
Hey.
Well, that's quite a delay.
How's this? Any better?
It is for me. It's quite a delay going to YouTube, though.
Yeah, it should be probably 20 seconds.
Let's see here. I get back to the actual YouTube feed. Refresh that page.
That sounds a lot better on the feed, Jim, to me anyway. I'm listening to the actual
There you
YouTube
are.
feed.
Yeah, it does. Sounds perfect on the feed.
So I resent out the email.
Yeah, we got him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mute the feed now because it sounds okay there. So.
All right. Yeah, the guys are saying, yeah, sounds great.
Oh, okay. Super.
So that's what it was. It was a bad connection between StreamYards and BlueTube.
Yeah.
Looks better, too. Wow, I wonder what the heck happened.
I don't know. Maybe the first time you connected it, you just got a rat in the kettle hopper, the corn hopper. I don't know.
How do I sound now?
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody
Like
unplugged that
you always
damn thing
do, Art.
from him.
You sound like
Cut
you
the
always
wires.
sound. And Steve Carpenter didn't get the email for some reason.
Yeah, he did.
There you
There he is. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got everybody except Adrian back.
Yeah.
The
Yo,
cooking
Adrian.
channel. All right, I'm glad we're clear now.
All right, cool.
All right, good.
So,
Stream's much clearer.
Yeah, it looks good too, Jim.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
the point of this is when you buy a drone, all right, we're going for remote ID and we're going for airspace safety and security. That was the whole reason, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you telling me we're identifying a drone by this sticker, which is supposed to be a printed serial number sticker?
That can be stuck on any drone they want to peel it from and stick it to.
Exactly.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Evidently.
Jim?
Well, plus the electronic serial numbers on all the components, but they're not obvious from the outside of the drone.
Yeah. Jim, what I was going back to what we discussed the other day. You need to get the 2 screenshots with your original
Right.
serial numbers and registration numbers on the controller shot to the new one, send it out and post it on all the social media sites to DJI and just say you want an answer. You want it within 48 hours, and you want to know if it's you, meaning DJI, or your enterprise dealer. Need to get this resolved immediately.
Look at the
Now,
USB.
Is that,
Look
Jim,
at the
is
USB slot.
that a picture of the drone you got back?
This is the one I got back. See
Well,
how
where's
this
all
is-
the damage? Where's all the damage on that seam that was where it
They
looked
re-
like the other one was pried open with a jackhammer?
For $400, they replaced this.
Oh,
The top
This is-
and the bottom.
Yeah, the top, both shells were replaced. This bottom battery compartment. Now you
if the
see how
sh-
nothing
if the
sits
shells
flush
were
here?
replaced, that explains why they stuck your stickers back on this shell then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's what
Makes
they'll say
perfect.
anyway.
Yeah, because it doesn't show up as the same drone, Mel. It's a different manufacture date from its internal boards. You can't make this stuff up. That's how the camera sits, the FPV camera.
Can't you straighten that out?
No, you can't break it and straighten it out. It's supposed to sit horizontal from the
Yeah.
factory, like it did when I sent it in.
There's no calibration setting
Not-
to fix
Not
that?
to the FPV camera, no.
Oh,
Well, that looks stupid.
Now, of course, the flight controller number is going to be different because they changed that main controller board.
Right.
Right.
So, but what this is where we're at in the world. What do you use to identify? And see, this before was coming up as NA, no battery information whatsoever.
Mhm.
That's the serial number off the Crystal Sky. This is what the one I received. See the pitting of the rust?
Right. Yeah, right.
Underneath the chrome, the pitting comes up and all that. And this is what they sent back. You know, that's a $3,000 repair they wanted. Now, I don't know how you guys keep your equipment, but my equipment doesn't look like this.
Exactly.
And then, can you take an FAA registered aircraft and just peel off a sticker and throw it on another one? How do you keep track? Where'd the maintenance record go?
Well,
If that's just the outer case.
No, that's a drone. It's attached to a drone. It's the printed serial number for a drone that's registered with the FAA to fly in the sky.
Yeah, it was manufactured before Jim's was the year before.
These things aren't sitting flush. The lights, which was part of their. See, look at this one.
Yeah.
Not flush with the body. What do you call that? Fit and finish on a car? These are the parts they replaced. That didn't need replacing. This is where you connect your cameras.
that looks all pitted too.
Yeah.
And see, that's cast aluminum there, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, it is.
That's what I thought, because it's like this. It's made the same way the gimbal plate is for the Inspire 1. It's just cast aluminum.
Did you figure that out? Or do you actually have information on that, Mel?
Oh, you can tell by looking at the part.
Okay.
It's like you can tell, Jim, if you have been in the metal business, like doing body work and doing metal work,
Right.
you can tell the difference between, or if you're a chef, you can tell the difference between a cast iron skillet and a molded skillet.
Hey, let me give you a little tip here. You see that if this isn't straight, your camera will not go in.
Exactly.
And people sometimes turn their camera too hard when they're putting it in to lock it in, and this will turn. All you have to do to straighten this out is press this bottom button and use your finger to straighten this back out. Turn this.
Right.
Don't say right. A lot of people don't know that. Look in the forums.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
But yeah, that shows it sitting flat. Let me see. Can you change the angle of the pictures? Yeah, there you go. Remember, they had shown this all coming out and this all broken apart and all that crap. All I said to them was, how did it get this damage?
Right.
That's a simple question. Why can't I ask that? Well, my continual emails just pissed them off.
See, that right
would
there
you
just
grease
like an
this?
old motor.
Yeah, would you grease it? I wouldn't. It looks like it's been greased on the spring. This is a new one, and that's an old one, or an older one. So one side has new motors, and the other side has these on them. Which the thing is, and here's why I'm worried, guys. At 200 hours, you're supposed to be changing out or overhauling this particular drone.
Right.
And how do we know how many hours this one has on it now?
Yeah.
This is the RTK antenna connecting at the top, rusting up. That's the card. This is just, I showed it, took a picture of it actually in the air, so it is flying. But it shows you the two arms were replaced on its left side.
Yeah, there's no tape.
Yeah.
Now,
And
did
DJ
your arms have that yellow and blue tape on them too?
That yellow and blue tape comes from the Enterprise dealer. Rocky Mountain Unmanned Systems puts this on all four arms. That's why you see a little yellow there. Because I actually put red tape on, that red reflector tape I was showing you.
Right. Right.
I had put that on there so for my own reference in the sky.
I see.
Jim, the other thing to do, like I was saying about getting this stuff posted up there, and just keep it simple. Don't go into elaborate. Just keep it in there. I sent my drone in on this date. This is the drone I got back. Here's my original information. This is the drone information I got back. This is not my drone. And then what you do is you contact DJI. My suggestion is to contact DJI security, and you want them to trace the serial number on your original drone. Your air data is not going to show that because I think that drone is someplace else. But they'll be able to track that number, because if it came up in their server, they could come up with a search of where it is. Because this company, your enterprise dealer, should have opened up that box, should have verified everything on the inside, should have turned on your controller, turned on the drone, and they never did, because you don't have anything on your air data. So they never even started the drone up at their service department.
And now the reason it went to them before DJI was because they promised to do all this. Now there's the October. Actually, I got it October 25th of 18, so almost 2019. Yet the one they sent back was made in July of 2017.
Wow.
Now I'm going to bring in Ron, who suggested that I go to the Attorney General. There's got to be somewhere to start. And because as much as they want to do safety and security, where is it for us? Where is
It's not supposed to be for us. They don't care about us.
Well, you're responsible if it comes out of the sky and hits something.
No, that's true.
It's your butt. And you're supposed to then show them maintenance records.
That was the thing I was thinking about today, Jim. You know, if your drone right now, wherever it may be, whoever may have it, goes out and commits an illegal act, or like you said, falls out of the sky, hurts someone, where's it coming down to? Yours truly.
Well, let me ask this, though.
Okay.
The serial number labels that they put on your new case and stuff,
Right.
is there other serial numbers that
Inside
can't
the
be
drone.
transferred?
Yes. The manufacturer date and that inside the drone are the ones.
But
that
there's
can't
no
be-
way that you can physically open something up and look at that, though, is there?
Yeah, air data.
No, I mean open it and physically look at it.
No, I can't take the drone apart. Now, this is coming up in air data as drone 11. Let's go to equipment, drones. This is the flight I took today, but you see it's coming up. Oh, you can't see that, can you?
It's really small.
I've got it. Okay. It's
All
on.
right.
It's fine.
Let me get my magnifying glass.
It's coming up as air data recognizes it as a different drone, as it should, because it has two different records here. You see, you can't change these. This stuff is on there from the inside.
So it's
Electronics.
on the Okay, that's what I was asking. That's what I was asking or trying to ask is there something that you can open and look at and see numbers that are actually stamped in, or is it electronic? That's what I was trying to ask.
Okay. That internal serial number that it says right there, that is reading it from that's the actual number of the main controller or flight controller board that they replaced. But you see, it no longer recognizes it as my drone. Here's my M210.
But it showed that it was purchased a few weeks ago on that last thing.
Right.
You see, that was wild. That was weird.
Well, yeah, let's look at that.
Or is that the date that this particular serial number first showed up in air data? See, it says purchased July 10th, it says.
Yeah, I don't know why. I honestly don't know where that date comes from. Now, let's be honest. There's stuff you can change here. Let's hit the edit drone and see what you can change. You can change
the purchase, yeah.
The date you purchased it.
Yeah.
Like I purchased it October 25th. It was actually purchased. Yeah, okay.
So that July 10th date is the date that air data said, "Whoa, here's a new serial number we haven't seen before."
Okay.
So it starts you off as figuring you just bought it, but allows you to go and fix that to the correct date. So,
and let's
so
see. Let's see if you're right.
Was that you who turned it on July 10th and Air Data picked it up, or was that them?
Let's see. Let's go to usage. 7 flights. So July 10th was DJI in California.
Okay, so that's when Air Data picked up the first time it came on.
Right. And it doesn't have any information because they didn't fly it.
No, they just turned it on, evidently.
They didn't have it on long enough. And there is DJI's parking lot in California.
So they did fly it. Oh
Well,
no, that's a Google Maps picture.
Yeah, it says 2 feet.
After they fixed it.
Motors were started. I guess but they did actually fly it once. Let's go to overview again. General. What date did they fly it on? The 15th? Yeah, this is DJI flying it at their facility.
Yep.
Oh. Flew it over the road too. Look at that. Or is that a built? No, that's.
Well, it's not illegal to fly over roads. It's only illegal to fly over moving traffic.
I think that's a flood channel back there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, Steve. I think you're right.
Up against the tracks over there.
Yeah. So they put the new board in and they got it all put together and then they flew it to make sure that it was going to act correctly, I presume.
Right. And then that's the testing that was done, period. Now, after this, they sent it to Rocky Mountain Unmanned Systems. There's
And
no
that's
records
your
here.
dealer?
Yeah. And after, if you guys remember all the yipping and yapping, this is the date that they actually flew it, on the 27th of July.
So they flew it a couple feet to make sure that it was ready to send back to you before they actually sent it to you.
Right. And they did tell me that the FPV camera was sitting about 20 degrees off.
So why
Surely
didn't
there's a way to
they
adjust
fix
that.
it?
I don't know how it gets fixed, boys. I don't. I'm not going to lie to you.
Probably screwed in from the back. Maybe if you loosen the screws in the back, they got elongated slots where you can level it off and then retighten the screws. There's got to be some way. It can't be bent.
Well, I can't imagine that they just sent it back to him that way, though.
Well,
yeah,
I can
that's
imagine
the whole
that.
that's the whole problem.
Well, Jim was bitching so much.
They were like, get this thing back to him, get him out of our hair.
In their eyes, I was, what in their terms, my continual emails asked only one thing: where did this damage come from?
Right.
That's all I asked, boys. Sorry, I'm sorry I inquired as to my brand new car's equipment.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't wire crash.
But it shows up as 2 different drones because there's 2 different manufactured dates, which I can't
How about
manipulate.
your old drone? How about your old drone? Does that any activity show up on that on your air data?
This is it right now. This is the old drone.
When's the last flight of the old drone?
January 2nd, when I turned it on. It didn't fly. The last actual flight was that.
It would be
It didn't
interesting
fly.
if all of a sudden that particular drone started flying again, and you could see where it was flying and find out where your drone is.
Hey Jim, when you turned it on to verify it, before you packed it up, why isn't it showing you going online then?
Well, when do you mean?
You turned it on and you had it up and running, sitting there in your driveway. Why isn't it showing that air data information?
Well, this is because it didn't fly. That was in my driveway you're talking about.
Yeah, it would show the same thing. It wouldn't show a flight, but it would show it. It would show it activated, and it showed how long it was running for.
Does it show that, or does it actually have to fly for this to pick up?
See, because some of them will come up 0.
Because if you
Like,
look at
this.
his drone that he has that they sent him, it shows that in there.
Let's see. That's details of where. Now, see, these flight records are all the damn drones.
Yeah.
I have a question. Have you done a manual sync on your controller
Yes.
since you got it back?
Yes. This
Okay,
is all-
now if you go to pick one of those down in there that they turned it on. It's showing it coming on.
right.
So why isn't it showing it coming on with you when you did the testing before you boxed it up?
Don't know. Let's see. Now, this is the one. This is the one.
No, hold off. Don't go. I want you to stick to the subject. I want to pick your brain to find out why we get this resolved, because then that if it's not going to, but yet now it is. So is it due to the flight controller not working, but yet it was communicating?
No, it wasn't communicating back and forth to the drone. Couldn't be controlled at all. This is the one. This is mine.
So after January 2nd, when did you ever power it back on again and try to fly it after that January 2nd date?
I had it connected to DJI Assistant, and I updated.
Only 150 pep.
I updated the.
He turned it on, and as he was testing it before firing it up to prove that it was operational and the lights were on, that it wasn't connecting. So he took all those pictures. So he sent that information to him. So he did connect to the drone through the controller. My question is why isn't air data showing that?
You see the signal lost, RTK base lost, propulsion output limited.
Right.
All this stuff that it wouldn't. It got to. This is on the same date. It got to where it would no longer take off.
So what about the question Steve's asking, Jim, is what about in your driveway when you powered it all up and took
That would have
pictures of
been
it?
March.
That would have been March.
How
Again,
come there's
you gotta
nothing
go
in
back
air
to-
data for that?
I don't know. I'm trying to look. That would have been. It's not there.
So would that be because the controller boards and stuff were not communicating, or
What it sounds like.
why is there just a blank space in time? I think is what
Yeah.
Steve's getting at.
Exactly, Mel. From January to March when you sent it, or whenever it was.
Or after March, anytime.
May.
There's so
I hear
whatever
you, Steve.
whatever the first time it shows back up in air data versus January 2nd, you know it was powered on and alive in between those dates because one of the times you actually powered it on. So where's that air data information?
Absolutely right. I took that video March 14th of 2020, according to the EXIF data.
And so that's the last time you had the drone powered on? That day?
Yeah, I'm guessing I didn't. No, it's on automatic upload. It should have automatically uploaded it.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you weren't connected to the internet, wherever you were, and you didn't manually sync it.
I did not manually sync it. I know that.
Well,
Okay,
where
well,
were
that-
you when you did? That was in your driveway, so you should have had internet connection.
Yeah, and wouldn't the next time I sync it, wouldn't it have automatically dragged those records in here too?
Yeah.
You'd think it would.
Because you're going from October to December, and obviously it didn't fly if you're seeing zeros.
So when's the last time you manually synced it?
Oh, how would we know?
When's the last time
You would have to know. You in your brain, you'd have to know.
This, I think, is the Mavic 2 Pro.
Yeah, that
No,
says
when-
Mavic 2 Pro
when's
right
the-
on it.
When's the last time you manually synced that controller?
The new one I synced. When I
The
got it,
controller's not new. The controller's the same.
right, I synced it as soon as it got here. So that would have been August 1st. I
Okay,
synced it. See, my
that's-
address.
That's the new drone.
But the same remote controller.
So where does their data get its information from? What component in the system?
The flight records that the DJI SDK allows it. See, there's my house and my car, and
So that's from the drone via the controller or straight from the drone
Hey,
with
Jim,
the RTK?
Jim,
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
take my Maverick outside. I'm going to power it on, and I'll be back. And I'm going to run it up there and let it run out there and just idle, and then let it run and see if I see anything coming in and see if air data reports it back up without taking off.
okay,
gonna say,
are you gonna manually sync it or not?
When I turn it off, yeah, then I'm going to look at it and I'll manually sync it.
Okay, what I did when this got here, when I turned on the remote controller, I did a 6-month manually sync, all update records. So what I'm saying is it should have put that March turn on, because I even had it connected to this laptop and tried to update the firmware.
I know all about syncing.
May.
Yes,
Yeah,
you do, Art.
But you sync drones, not controllers.
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
You need to
Oh,
learn
let me ask
about
you.
you need to learn about raising drones.
Yeah. From
So what
I'll be-
from,
Steve's saying
be
is,
back.
where does that record go?
from wee little babies, you got to raise it up from a wee little baby. Jim,
Question for you guys.
Yeah.
This is my thought process to help Jim. Let me know what you guys think. I think, and just because I had the experience with him before, the Attorney General's office, when I worked for a flight program back in Pennsylvania, a lot of funny business was going on. We were abruptly shut down one day with no warning. The FAA was in a month before, and they did their annual inspection, blah, 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 said, you guys are good, you're good to go. Well, when this whole thing got shut down, and next you know, the FAA is crawling all over us because of a lot of different things. They actually, we believe, kind of swept things under the carpet because it kind of made them look bad. You know, in other words, it looks like, oh crap, we screwed up. Why didn't we see this a month ago? One of my coworkers, who I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty certain I know who it was. You had 40 employees very angry, out looking for revenge on the boss. It all came down to the boss's fault. So when the FAA kind of swept things under the carpet, next thing you know, the Attorney General's office showed up at our hangar, and there was about 8 representatives with books and microscopes, and they crawled all over that place looking, and it was not a pretty sight. So here's my question to you guys. You know, again, I realize it's a drone, but Jim has that registered as an aircraft with the FAA, the same as the rest of us. And my thought process is, you know, he sent that to the Enterprise dealer, which DJI recommends. Send it to them. If they can't fix it, you send it to us. So my whole thought process with all the problems that he's having, and you know this happens out there in the business world today, there are large companies that have an owner, and there's so many employees underneath that owner that there's all kinds of shenanigans going on, and that owner don't know a damn thing about it. And
True.
I honestly think that is what is going on here. So my suggestion to Jim, I'd like to know what you guys think, is I would be phone content his name is JT something. Say, listen, Jim's tried to contact him before, and the guy blew him off and said, well, you need to deal with this person, that person. No, there's a reason why I'm coming to you. because your employees have screwed me, and here is why. So here is what the recourse is going to be. Fix this problem, or these are going to be the consequences. Would you guys consider the Better Business Bureau, the Attorney General's office, local law enforcement, because you suspect a bait and switch? These are the things that I would be calling and physically putting in that guy's ear, not on email. I would call him. And if he refuses to take a phone call, I would leave a voicemail with him and say, if I don't hear back from you, these are the actions and the recourses I'm going to start taking. What would you guys do? It's just my suggestion, but what's your guys' thought?
See, me personally, if I may go first, because I'm going to bow out for about 5 minutes after this. I'm a dick.
Well, we know that,
and I'd be all over it. Especially since if I have
would
two
you
different serial
contact that
numbers,
owner, Mitch? Would you contact the owner of that company?
2 separate serial numbers. That's enough proof for me right there.
Yeah.
if you're going to do
And
that,
I would let him also know that every damn DJI forum, drone forum, whatever, in the entire internet world, I am going to put Rocky Mountain Unmanned Systems on there. The smartass comment that John McBride wrote back to Matt North. Matt North put a comment in there on Jim's Facebook thing, and that guy had the audacity to put that smartass comment back in there. Oh no. And I would, Mel. I'd be a dick too.
I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, we're not talking about a $1,500 Mavic 2 Pro.
Right. And speaking of that, Jim, what does it do to get set up on air data, and what would happen with my drone that I've been flying it now for about a year, the Mavic 2 Pro?
Right.
If I just created an air data account, would it? Yeah. And where would it get that data from?
It gets the flight data records from the records that are in the remote controller, the flight data that DJI keeps constant records of, so that if you crash it, DJI can say it was pilot error. We looked at the records. You flew it into the ground, or you crashed it into a tree, or etc.
Yeah, you can go whenever you sync your controller with DJI. Their servers have it way back to your first flight, Mel. And you can go back in your remote controller.
This drone, I fly with 2 remote controllers, depending on what kind of flying I'm doing.
Doesn't matter because they all sync up to the master set of data that's in DJI's servers. So when you take remote controller B and you sync it, all the information from any drone you've flown in your account
is in there.
Or that phone is in there, and it's going to be put back into that other controller, even though that's not the one you used to fly the drone with.
Oh.
That's why when I show my flight record, yes, sir. Ron.
Let's say fictitiously your drone has been sold and somebody bought it and starts flying it. Is it going to show up on your air data system? The record, the account that you have now or originally had?
I don't know. We're talking about I have the original remote controller. So I don't know. Can anybody answer that?
Yeah, I think that it works this way. If Air Data gets its data from DJI's servers, then when you sell your drone, whoever bought it is going to log into to the DJI software under their account. And from that point on, when they register that drone to their account, none of that drone's data is going to be going into your account or have anything to do with you from that.
Mitch, wait a minute, wait. Al Diaz sold his drone.
I was just about to say that.
Okay, go ahead. Let's finish.
Hey, Mitch, Al Diaz sold his Mavic Air 1 to someone, and now somebody in Africa has the darn thing, and it's showing up in their data that it's flying in Africa.
But they never tried to update the firmware or never connected it to a computer to try to do something to it. Otherwise, they would have to have a login. So if you get rid of that drone and the person you sell it to doesn't touch a thing and just keeps flying it, he's flying it under your account. So all that data is going to keep going into your account.
But if I'm not mistaken, then Al Diaz have to delete that information from that drone for that to happen?
Yeah.
Well, I think you can unregister.
Or at
the
least
drone.
signed out? Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
unregister the drone first, but he may not have done that.
Oh wow!
He
See,
may
I've
have
never
forgotten.
unregistered
It's like
with DJI
selling a
any
computer.
drone I've sold.
It's like selling a computer and not wiping the hard drive,
Right.
before you sell it.
That information is still sitting there.
Yeah, and you can go into your account on DJI and you can see which drones you have registered to that account. And see if you still got those old drones registered to that account, then they're going to come back to you unless the person you sell it to actually re-registers it. And I haven't done that, so I don't know what the mechanics of that are, but that's how I think in theory how it works.
Okay, now let me be the second one to kind of piggyback to what Ron said. I pretty much agree with Ron, Jim. Everything that Ron said, I would actually do. And another thing, I will also piggyback on what Mel said. Me, when it comes to my drones, I'm a dick just like I do with my guns. I don't let nobody borrow my guns for nothing. I don't even let nobody shoot my guns just for the hell of it. That's how much respect I have for it. So when it comes to Ron and Mel, I'm down, man. I'm down to go and burn this bitch down, pretty much. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. I mean, not literally,
it's not fair.
Mitch. I don't mean that. I don't mean it literally. You know what I'm saying? Where my frustration coming from? I'm just
Yeah.
Oh,
pissed off and
absolutely.
frustrated.
The problem, and I hate to, I don't want to, I'll play the devil's advocate a little bit. The only thing that these people care about is what have I, in being threatened, is do I really give a shit? You know, they have to weigh the risk. They know, Jim, that the government is not going to go to bat for you against them. I mean, they pretty much know that. They know that most people, when it comes to trying to get something right with a business, will have to hire a lawyer and spend a ton of money and go through all that grief to get their attention, because they're going to be legally obligated to answer the lawsuit, show up for the depositions, go to court. But you're talking tens and tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees with no guarantee you're ever going to win. And at a certain point early on in that process, you've spent 3 times what the drone would cost just to buy a new one.
Yep.
And they
So
know
Mitch,
that.
you're saying,
I'm saying,
Mitch, you're
here's what I'm
saying that you don't think that the Attorney General's office
No.
would do, because they're federal.
No, don't think so. I don't think so. Not for Jim Boyd with his one little drone. I think that a big air carrier operation that has air ambulance equipment that seems to have done something wrong would attract the attention of higher ups of the FAA. Would send, like you said, a team of 8 people in there to look at it. But they're not going to send a team of 8 people into this little dealer out there and say what happened to Jim's drone. And you know darn well that the first thing DJI is going to do is they're going to pull out their paperwork, the terms and conditions that say they have the right to replace your drone with a drone of a similar drone when you send it in.
Not on enterprise equipment.
With enterprise
Okay, but Mitch.
equipment, that's-
equipment.
yeah, you can't.
Okay, I
that's
stand
different with
corrected on that
enterprise.
then. But I think, and I told you initially, remember early on we were talking about this, and I said that I thought your best bet back at that time, when I thought that this dealer out there was pulling a bait and switch,
Right.
was to file a criminal complaint with the local sheriff. Let the local sheriff go out there and pay him a visit, because he has to follow up on a complaint like that.
All right, now I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the state attorney general, it's going to have to be a pretty big deal, I think, before any state attorney general is going to want to get involved.
I still don't think, Jim, it'd be a bad idea it can't hurt to make a phone call to him.
No, try to get a hold of the owner
Mitch
of the
may
company.
be right, but it can't hurt to make a phone call, and maybe they
No.
could lead you in a different direction.
I agree 1,000%, Ron. You have nothing to lose by trying to get the owner of this company, not DJI, the owner of the company of the dealership that you dealt
Okay,
with,
right.
to get him on the phone, and not to threaten him, because business people don't react kindly to threats.
I've never threatened anyone. I just wanted to know, where the damage come from.
Okay, so then by all means, try to get a hold of him. I mean, he's no big deal. We're not talking about Bill Gates here. We're talking about some guy who owns a little drone company.
store. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, this guy is not a captain of industry or anything like that.
Hey, but Mitch, I want to kind of pick up a little bit where you left off. You said something like there will actually be in Jim's side if it was a airplane, helicopter, or stuff like that. But what about the drone? For example, if Jim is careless to do something foolish with that drone, they will come hard on him. He will be responsible for whatever stupid shit he did. Am I right?
Right.
Of course.
Okay. So my thing is, if that company did that to that drone, why do we have to? It almost seems like Jim is literally drowning and he don't even know what the fuck to do to get some result. You know what I mean?
I understand.
I
understand.
know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's the thing, Jim. If something did happen with that drone, and it failed and killed somebody, then
now how can he prove that?
Doesn't matter. Then you'll get somebody's attention.
Yeah.
Right.
But because they wait. I'll give you an example. Somebody threatened my life. I mean, threatened my life. This guy, wannabe guy, thought he was like a mafia guy, and he bought a house from me, reneged on the payment, lived free in my house for 6 months, and I finally got him evicted. And he came to my door and told me that I was going to get a visit from 5 of his big friends with baseball bats. Okay, so first thing I do is call the police. Police come out. I said, my life's been threatened. They look at me like, well, what do you want us to do about it?
Right.
Call us after you get the shit beat out of you, and then we'll do something about it. They don't care. People don't care about your rights or what's right or wrong unless there's something in it for them, or they're mandated, like the police are, to do the job after the crime. They just don't care.
Okay.
And it's so disappointing to keep banging your head. I'll give you another example. This guy, Bruce Simpson over in New Zealand, XJet. Have you been following his little adventures with the CAA over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's breaking the law. So he posts a thing today that says that he got an email or he got a phone call from the CAA. Basically, they told him to back off, stop, delete the videos you put up there. People are now harassing them. And then he said in his thing,
him.
right. And he said, he put a post up there that said he's going to get him. He's going to use a FOIA, their version of the Freedom of Information Act request, and demand that they send him every single document, email, phone call, record. Now, legally, the government is supposed to be obligated to send you these things. Well, ask the people that are trying to get the documents out of our Justice Department about the Russia thing. They don't comply with this crap. You got to spend millions of dollars. You got to drag them into court. You got to drag them into court. So I posted a comment to Bruce. I said, "Way to go, Bruce." I said, "Good luck with that." I said, "You can probably expect to start receiving some of those documents sometime around October 2041.
Yeah, and if you look at drone stuff this week, the guy who put in his FOIA requests over there hasn't gotten them after putting in three times for the request. There's a 28-day period, and then you're supposed to get them. No.
They don't care. What are you going to do? You're a little guy. They're a big deal government officials. You can't fight these people.
Now, Steve, what did you come up with? Because some of these on my report are coming up as 2012, which means Air Data didn't know where to put them.
Okay. What I did is I did it 2 ways. One, I turned it on. I fired the props up and just let it idle out there for 2 minutes.
Right.
Turned it off and then shut it down again. Went back, then I turned it back on again, but I didn't fire the props. I just turned it on and made the connection with the controller. Right. It reported once the props started spinning, that one came up. The other one of just turning it on without powering up the motors, nothing came in.
All right, that's why, because my props would not start up because it's yellow flashing lights that tell you it cannot take off across the top of the board. And because go ahead.
Hey Jim, I want to tell all of you guys a little story. Then nothing have to do with drone, but a kind of similar issue. And I think I told you that before, Jim, and several of you guys. but I used to own a 2018 Nissan Titan that I bought in 2017. And I had it for about a year, 2 months. Then it started leaking coolant. I had the I guess what they call the unlimited mileage package, where, you know what I mean, no matter what happens,
bumper to
they're gonna
bumper.
fix everything. Exactly. I bought the extended warranty also. Even if I lug to go bad, they're gonna replace it.
Right.
Started leaking coolant. Took the truck over there 10 times. 10 times they tell him, they smell it. 10 times they told me there's nothing wrong with the truck. Finally, I went ahead and I made a video, and I went off on the video because I got a hold of I was talking to the mechanic manager who replaced or supposedly put on a brand new radiator in the truck. But the brand new radiator actually started making my damn engine knocking, and it was leaking even more. Nobody wanted to fix the problem. Finally, I went to the shop and I went off.
It's a head gasket leak.
Whatever, but they only wanted to fix the radiator only. They didn't want to fix everything else.
Right.
Till they get to the problem. Basically, I got into I got into a little shouting match with the general manager because I was pissed off. I got really pissed. It's a $48,000 truck.
Right.
You know what this idiot went ahead and told me? Your truck, get the fuck out of my shop. Find somewhere else to take your truck to get it fixed. Now, how is that possible? I'm a
They
customer.
don't care. They don't care.
But Mitch, my problem is that I'm a customer. If it wasn't for me, they would not have a freaking job. You follow what I'm saying? And this dick went ahead and did that. I got a hold of it. I got a hold of his manager. I got a hold of everybody. Nobody wanted to help me. So I fixed the truck. I sold it, and I bought a Ram. And I'm telling everybody that I know, do not buy another fucking Nissan, because I'm not the only one having the same problem.
And that's all you can do in this world. That's all you can do is vote with you can vote with your feet, basically, if you don't like something. Changing
That's what's going to hurt him, Jim, is a kick in the freaking pocketbook, man.
Somehow.
I wouldn't stop on that social media right now. I would keep on her. Like that comment that John McBride put on there. Yeah, I'd start going back about that camera. I would put stuff on her 8 times a day.
Yep.
I would see to it that that JT guy, that his company is ruined.
What Ron is referring to is I also bought a camera.
Yeah, listen to this.
I bought a FLIR camera from the gentleman in question, and I bought it off of the FLIR marketplace on Facebook. So you think you're safe, and you know the guy. But anyway, I made the payment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you got an empty box.
And I got 10 and a half months of waiting
Really?
for this FLIR drone to show up, for FLIR camera to show up.
So what's
10 and
that
a
say
half
about
months?
the company's reputation?
10 and a half months?
Obviously,
10 and a half
none
months
of us
later.
are, none of us are going to do any business with them. That's for damn sure.
I still don't have the camera.
You still don't.
What?
How'd you pay for it?
PayPal. Twice.
Did you file a PayPal complaint to get your money back?
No, I haven't filed anything. What happened was, what I said on July 27th is I said, send my drone back today and tell John he can put the camera inside the drone box.
Obviously, he didn't.
Because he didn't, and the company didn't know what I was talking about, because he had obviously sold it
Yeah,
privately.
tell him what else he said, Jim.
He'll send me my $1,500 back with $300 for the delay. Meanwhile, in Facebook Messenger, I'm getting messages. I've got it sitting here. I just have to get it out. I'm so busy.
Yeah.
But
And here it is, 2
Claim
weeks
against
later,
PayPal.
you
File
got
a
the
claim
drone,
against
still don't have the
PayPal.
camera or the money.
Well, the one thing I found out about PayPal, which is why it really is, or any credit card for that matter, and I can tell you this from the standpoint of being a businessman all my life that accepted credit card payments, and that is that 99 out of 100 times, no matter whose
Hey, Ron,
fault
check
it
your phone. Sorry,
99
go
out
ahead.
of 100, 99 out of 100 times, no matter whose fault it is, the credit card company will always side with their customer, who is the consumer. So I've had people renege on come into my shop, buy a $4,000 notebook computer, leave the country, tell the credit card company they never bought it, and the credit card company took that $4,000 out of my account so fast it made my head spin, and nothing I said meant anything to them. So I learned that the hard way. But as a consumer, if you buy something with PayPal, it might take you a month or 2 months. But if you file a complaint with PayPal, say, I paid for this thing 10 months ago and I never got it, they will not hesitate to grab the money right back out of this guy's bank account and refund it to you.
I know they've done that to me before, Mitch. Where, as a matter of fact, when I bought my the FEMI drone through Banggood, they will keep giving me the bullshit the runaround. I contacted them and they put that money in my account literally less than 24 hours, and they told me 3 to 5 business. They would literally the next day they put the money back.
Yeah, I've had that
PayPal.
with Banggood. I actually got Banggood to give me a refund the same day when something they shipped got lost in shipping. And after 30 days, you haven't received it and they can't prove you received it. You go, I did it right on the live chat on their site, and it surprised the hell out of me. The next day, the money was right back in there. But PayPal will go and they don't care about the merchants. They know the merchants have no option. A merchant is stuck with them. You want to be in business, you've got to accept PayPal and you've got to accept credit cards. But the consumer, on the other hand, can use other payment methods if he's dissatisfied with PayPal. So they're the consumer happy and in most cases.
Exactly, Mitch.
Steve,
Jim,
yeah, Ron.
Jim, tell them what was his name, Ryan or whatever, what he said, that they can't seem to find that camera in the inventory. So that John has been lying to you the entire damn time.
Yeah, he said that was an old camera but John was selling this under his name, not the company's name. Not in defense of anything or anybody. I'm just saying that I don't think anybody knew he was selling it.
But you pay, it doesn't matter. That's why PayPal is so cool. The transaction went through PayPal. You say to PayPal, this guy's been stringing me along for 10 months, never sent the camera. It's time for me to get my money back, and they'll get you your money back.
Yeah, I would file the claim with PayPal. And the problem being, though, is as an individual, he's probably pulled the money out of that account. It's not linked to any bank account.
Probably.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But PayPal they'll still refund it to you, and then they have to go get it from him.
They have to go get it from him.
PayPal, PayPal has a guarantee to you, the consumer, that you'll get your money back. And credit card companies are the same way.
Oh yeah, credit card companies without a doubt.
They'll give you you'll get your money back, and they'll put it into collection on him, or they won't allow him to use PayPal anymore, which will hurt him as a business. He can't afford to not be able to accept PayPal. Mm-hmm. Not today. Not in being in business online today.
Right?
And this goes to all the guys who bought into the micro drone, who bought into that other hover drone, all these things that are crowdfunded at Indiegogo. You have no rights.
No, you don't. But you sign your rights away when you submit the money. You know you're rolling the dice with those things. They tell you you're rolling. On those crowdfunding. On those pre-buy crowdfunding things. They make no guarantees.
With the Indiegogo and those like that. But if you're going through PayPal, you have rights there that you can go back.
Yep.
Why do you think so many people, when you do these forum type purchases, you communicate with the person, and they want you, and they always want to, they're willing to pay the 3% for PayPal for the guarantee that if I don't get my thing, I get my money back. Okay, it works both ways. Sellers on PayPal don't want to do a friends and family transfer to avoid the fee, because if you do a friends and family transfer, you don't have the right to get your money back. It's not a business deal. So that they'll pay the 3%, so that the guy on the other end doesn't screw them. And if you don't think there aren't a bunch of people who make a ton of money screwing businesses out of shit by buying it with PayPal and then disputing it after they get it, and the business gets nailed and they end up keeping the merchandise, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
How did Robert Glazier get ripped off by GearBest for $400?
Kisses, really, Ron? Kisses, really, Ron? Kisses, kisses, Ron? Really? What kind of flim flam were you trying to pull?
They're
buddy?
sending
No,
messages back to each other.
I want you to feel loved, Adrian.
Ronald Lockwood, I don't kiss boys. No kisses. Thank you. What the hell is going on here?
I gotta go to work, guys.
So now you want to go now that you sexually assaulted me, now you want to go.
That's the way it works, brother.
He's giving you a goodbye kiss.
That's right,
Adrian.
kiss.
No. Not
He's giving
one,
you goodbye kisses.
Steve, not A. He sent me 3.
I said, Adrian, listen. Clear this out. Kisses. I said plural.
2. Excuse me, princess. 2.
Plural. Kisses.
Here we go, Jim.
Yeah, but were they with the tongue?
No,
Yes.
there's no tongue.
You guys are
That right
grossing me
there.
out now.
Art, what were you showing us with your SD card video?
All right, guys,
Bye-bye,
gotta go.
Night, Ron.
See you, Ron.
Be safe.
Take
See
care.
you guys.
buddy. Good to
See you later, bro. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, I was doing a comparison on the U1 and the U3 video cards for because that cheap card would not work in the Autel Evo, but it will work in my GoPro. Isn't that weird?
Whoa. Robert says he ordered the First Husband Xeno 2 last November, and it's still not been resolved
Wow.
Wow.
from GearBest for $400. Wow.
Well, again, I would
Marcus
just
got his.
contact PayPal and say, never got this, want my money back.
Yeah, Marcus Crawford just got his just not a week or two ago after I don't know how many months.
But Steve, I think Ronald, I think he was on this same live show when I asked him. Remember, Jim, when I asked him if he got his FEMA yet? And anyway, I think he said he ordered it like back in January or something like that.
Yeah.
And I ordered mine back on April 24. June 1st, it was still dicking me around. That's when I told him to cancel it. I got it through GearBest. I got mine in less than like a month basically, and I got mine right. I got mine way before that.
I know. I remember you canceled the order and then reordered.
Yeah, reordered through a GearBest, not Banggood.
Yeah.
GearBest, because Banggood is full of shit. They keep telling me. They told me it was in stock. They told me it was out of stock, and it was gonna be June 1st. Then it's gonna be July. Then it's gonna be August, October.
Yeah.
No, give me my money back. No, I'm not dealing with you no more.
You know how you solve that, Adrian? You just walk down to your local Best Buy and say, "Do you have this? Fine, it's in stock." And then you go to the cash register and pay for it.
There you go.
Our Best
They-
Buy
they
has
don't have
actually
it, so.
reducing. Yeah, my Best Buy doesn't have them anymore.
I know.
Look, my Best Buy literally don't have nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like they don't even have the freaking SD card for sale.
Hey, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
How you doing, Ron?
They used to
Do I
have
need to go get
all the
do I need to
drones.
get a tropical shirt on now, Ron?
Yeah, there
I
you
know.
go.
It's all he owns.
Hey,
I told
Ron.
you, t-shirts. I got t-shirts too.
Hey, Ron.
Yes, sir. Is that a luau?
It's something like that. I don't know.
The
He's
hula.
doing the hula.
Hula. Luau is you're eating pig, or in the Philippines is lechon.
Hey,
The
Ron, I'm
luau's
gonna have
not
to
the
get.
dance. The luau is actually eating the pig. Because I've been to one of those. I've been to a luau.
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
If
Yeah.
I have that.
Hey,
Well, you got
Ron,
the
I'm
shirt,
gonna
right?
I'm gonna give me the little coconut for the for right here, the little bra, coconut bra.
I'm good on
Excellent.
that, man. I'm good on the coconuts.
Our story so far.
Now, what the hell? What is this, Jim?
That's
Isn't this the scam drone?
yes.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
It's the
Yep.
one that Ash from Droning On has been covering and bashing the hell out of them for I don't know how long.
They
Yeah, like this is like public funded or something, and they like never came out with this drone or something.
Yeah.
I never owned the full story, but yeah, I know it's a scam or something.
Kind of like Tucker Automobile.
And they had another drone before this one that they did the same thing that they never came out with.
that was the hover, right? The hover one.
I don't know if it was the hover or not, but I think it may be.
Oh, I think it was the Hoover.
I know
was that
on
back?
No, it's a Kirby art. Kirby.
Ah, the Kirby. No, Kirby was the doll that talks to you.
but all these specs have been changing and all that as the drone supposedly gets further and further. And
So
what
they're
they-
still actually making this drone. Like this
supposedly,
Is this a scam?
supposedly, but
well, there's
it-
the clue right there. It says the drone you've been looking for. Yeah,
Yeah.
For years.
and looking and still looking
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
There's been none delivered.
right. And,
Where's this company at? Are they?
Where do I sign? Let me buy one.
Where are they?
Yeah.
At? Look at how many years this has been going on.
Since 2011.
2011. Holy
Yeah.
shit!
First Phantom wasn't even out in 2011, was it?
It says
Next
the UK.
generation.
Yeah,
The
they're in the
UK.
UK.
Ah.
From the micro drone in 2000, we've launched a model every few years, each building on the last. Now, this one's specs keep going. I heard last time I heard it was down to a 5 megapixel camera. It went down from a, what is this, 50 minutes or something, down to a 10-minute flight time, Steve? You remember what?
I forget the specs. I know it's like instead of improving, it's unimproving.
Yeah,
I can get 5 megapixels in 10 minutes from Walmart for $50.
not kidding, man. Not kidding. It's gotten worse and worse as they go along. Now, I was watching Drone and Sundry, which does every Tuesday. Mitch, you've been there a few times.
Yeah.
Drone stuff this week, they do that. And Ash was on there showing them how one guy requested his money back and said he was going to sue them. And the owner of the company actually tweets back to people. Somebody, Kershaw or whatever, says, oh, I wouldn't do that if I was you, basically threatening him back. It's just, it's the Wild West with drones. And we're sitting here on the receiving end where you're the one who's in trouble if something goes wrong. You're the one who's supposed to be having maintenance records and all this stuff going on. Yet there's no accountability on the other end, the manufacturing end. That's why I asked Mitch last week. I said, and I know because I'm I was an aircraft mechanic in the Marines. Don't these things, Pat, need inspection just like cars? And Mitch says, yeah, yearly, you get your yearly checkout, right? All these drones are up in the air up to 55 pounds with no inspections. No
Well, that's what,
culpability.
Right.
No, wait a second. Okay, I inspected it.
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, it's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 propellers.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
The
ready,
biggest thing
ready
I
to go.
do when I'm checking it is I fill all the edges on the props. All of them. I run my fingers on all the props, making sure that there's no bumps, divots, or anything. Even
What
if
is
I
there to
haven't
check?
hit,
What is
even
there
if
to
I
check
haven't
on
hit a
it?
tree.
Yeah, what is there to check? Let's see. We got a charged battery. It's snapped in all the way. Our props are seated. You can check your props by wiggling them a little bit to make sure that the detent is in.
Remember
and the props
last
are in
week?
good shape. What do you?
Remember
just
last
You
week?
don't.
The battery
What
overheated?
Oh, the battery, yeah, but that's not something you'll pick up in a pre-flight.
Right.
You don't have to check the oil on the stupid things. There's
What's
not
the
much
dipstick for at the top on my drone then?
Oh,
I
that
keep
would
on
be
pulling
you,
it out.
Steve.
It's got all kinds of lint on it.
That's
Yes,
the
thank you.
antenna. That's the antenna, Steve.
This is the guy from Micro Drones right here, Vernon Kurzweil. He's on Twitter telling people, "Go ahead, sue us." You know,
That's what
something
they
you can
do. I said, so it's like sushi. It's so sue me.
Thanks, Agent K Video.
You know,
know,
that's a new
It's
kind of
almost
sushi.
like that. What's if any of you are on Facebook, and I have actually this is my first year on Facebook, and I've only joined it for the drone thing, but you see them all the time. The advertisement for the Drone X. Oh, this guy left this company to go build this drone, and they hate him
Oh,
now.
yeah.
And this
Yeah.
drone is so good, and it's like a $50 freaking piece of junk drone. It's no one's gonna buy it. I mean, I'm sorry, this is 2020. If you don't have, at least 4K 30 and stabilized video, no one's buying your drone. They're a Walmart, kid's toy.
Well, look at V-Copter. You got to
That
have
piece
an
of
angle,
shit.
right? And that thing, yeah, I wouldn't buy that. Not that
They
it's ever going to be sold.
I got my refund on them. I actually did put it when that first thing came out. I'm like, man, I really would like to have that in my hands. I want to try that myself. Well, after COVID hit, dude, they fell off the map. They wouldn't answer an email, nothing. I'm like, give me my freaking money back. Fuck you guys.
That's funny, Mel.
But I
So-
said mine too, so.
Oh, that's funny. That's
Steve,
that's-
that
Hi, Rick.
picture that you had up, was that of your air data that you took down?
Yeah, but it's nothing on there. It what it does is it shows you how inaccurate the GPS is because I had it sitting on the landing, and as it was idling there, you see the GPS going halfway out the walkway to my. I'll bring it back up again. You see
So
the
it
air
showed the
data.
drone moving around,
Yeah,
but it was sitting still.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
It was on the porch or the landing.
well, the
you called it.
the GPS was
Hey,
getting
Matt.
its fix.
Well, take it easy, Art. You're cutting out for the night. Good night, Art.
Is he?
Good night, Art.
Good night, Art.
Thank you,
Art.
Art. All right. Let's bring him in to say goodbye. Say
Good
goodbye, Art.
night, everybody.
Good night, Art.
Good night,
Good
Art.
seeing you again.
Good night, Art.
Bye-bye.
See you later, Art. Go to sleep,
Love
Art.
you, Adrian.
Okay. Love you too.
All right, Steve. So it showed it like it would actually flew for 10 feet. Oh, look, it says 19 feet.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's it. That's it.
And
this is
the one
Wiring
you
more
just did.
satellites.
yeah. And I know the reason why is because the whole house is blocking all the satellites on this side. I didn't have enough satellites just sitting right there at the porch. But
Right.
I didn't think it'd be that inaccurate.
I'll be right back.
Oh, it's funny. I deal a lot with these GPSs on the FPVs, and when you're building them, you're inside the house, and it shows you the position in beta flight when you go to the GPS tab. And when you first turn it on, and it's only got it finally gets a fix, but it's a lousy fix with 5 satellites. It shows me like in the house next door, and then over the next 30 seconds, I see myself wander from the house next door to my house as it gets more and more satellites and gets more accurate.
That's funny.
That's exactly what happens.
But you know what? What's really amazing when you think about it is even being in the house next door, to get that close 10 years ago would have blown our minds.
Yeah, right.
Now we deal with inches, when it comes to this GPS stuff.
Well, you go back to, and I know Mal can relate to this. You talk about drone boat navigation. I mean, you talk about GPS on it. When they got the fixed signal sites finally set up here on the coast, you went from roughly 100, you could be 100 to 300 foot of accuracy down to within 10 feet.
I'm glad you brought that up, Steve, because I
Less.
wanted to have that as a subject tonight. When I grew up as a kid on Long Island, I was 12, so you had to have a boating license. And so there's buoys in the water, and you're taught red right returning. And that leads us into our subject of aircraft and what the lighting and where you're putting them or why you're putting the red lights on one side, the white light in the rear. This is a very wide sampling, but it shows you the navigation lights that are used on airplanes, and so you're using them on drones.
And it's the same on boats. The
Yeah,
red light is
red's
always on the
always
left side. Yep.
Just
Port
remember,
side,
like red
the
light
green light on
returning.
starboard. Yeah, and that's port. That's called port. The red light's
I'll
on the
grab
left
my
side.
drone
Green,
that I have it on.
Red light
green light on
returning is,
starboard, white light in the back.
this is the way you're taught as a kid in boating. We had to learn that.
Yep.
And it's the same with the airplanes and the helicopters, but it lets you know when you see that light where the airplane's headed. And
Which
this
way
is
it's
why we
facing.
have them on
Yep.
drones.
Yep.
Because when that
most-
sucker's facing you, you know that your controls are backwards now.
But the lights that they put on the drones don't follow this convention.
No, of course not.
The ones that
the-
come with the drone, they don't have,
Right.
and they're not even close to being.
No.
You'll have two red lights in the front, maybe two
Exactly.
green lights in the back. Yeah, that's
The
not.
back
that's
has
not,
two greens on mine.
Yeah, it's not following any of this stuff.
I know. I don't know what that was about, why they even attempted that.
Well, they probably thought that would help people, know whether the drone was pointed towards them or away from them, which is really with a drone what you need to know if it's coming or going.
Well, true.
Well, you got all kind of freaking lights on that thing.
You got a siren on that thing too?
Yeah, really.
Blue light, blue rotating light up top.
Well,
Those
those are the Arc 5s you got, Steve?
These are the ones that are the Arc 5 is on top, but I've
Okay,
got
actually,
this
it's
on the
actually
front.
flashing red and green. Okay, I didn't see that at first. It is.
Well, you
it's
can have them so they stay
Oh,
on
okay, you
steady
can
or
set 'em.
slow.
Okay.
You can set them. This is for the Mavic Air 2. This
Doesn't that
is
cause camera noise? That's some bright light.
Causes
You see-
epilepsy.
That too, right?
Yeah.
yeah. If any of you are epileptic,
Yeah.
this
Cover
is
your
the
eyes.
One, this is the one that strobe. This is the 5 on top. Now I
That's
have
the Luma-
That's
Is
not
that
that
the Luma cube?
overpriced Loom Cube, is it?
no. This is Firehouse.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I had this. This is on the Air 2, and I had it on my Mavic for my sunset flight here the other night, and I wanted to put it up so I could see how well it showed up. Now, mind you, it's sitting on top of the. I have it off, but you can see where the Velcro is on the back of the battery here, where it is there. This thing up in the air at 390 feet, and during the daylight, I could see that thing clear as a bell, the strobe going off.
Really, in the daylight?
Directly underneath it.
So
Wow.
I would have it, you got the white light on top, but that's for aircraft that are above you.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't help me out. So I have the the white light on the back too.
In all
You can-
actuality, if you really wanted to make it safer for other aircraft to recognize the direction of travel of your drone, you should mark it with a steady red light on the left, a steady green light on the right, and a steady white light on the rear, and a blinking red light on top.
Well, the actual red light blinking on top is for ground crew to know that the aircraft is in movement. But that's a different story.
But, well, all aircraft, even like our Cherokee 140 and our Cherokee 181, our private planes, have a red light blinking at all times during
Yeah,
flight.
the rotating beacon.
The rotating beacon or a strobe.
Yeah.
Some of them
Yeah.
have nowadays they have strobes, but
Now, and they also have a clear strobe on them too.
Okay.
A white
I'm
strobe.
just-
Oh yeah, yeah.
those are usually when
Under the belly.
when we got the new airplane, actually we had white strobe on the belly and on the wingtips.
Okay.
Yeah, my Baron had strobes on both wingtips, right next to the nav lights. It had a clear strobe on the belly, and I think it was a red strobe on top. It's something I never saw, to tell you the truth, because I was inside the thing.
I would pretty much bet on it that it was a red strobe on top, Mitch, because that's how aircraft are lit. And they
that's
light
how
them
the
that
ground crew know that the aircraft is in movement. And there's also things on the turbine engines that spin, so they
And
know the
other-
engine's going because they wear earmuffs.
Yeah. And other aircraft in flight know like airline pilots and stuff, if they see another airplane at night with the lights and the strobes going, they know what direction that airplane's going just by what lights they can see.
Right.
And that's why they have them. Exactly. That's why we're talking about it.
Just like
Which-
shipping navigation.
Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
why if you wanted to mark your drone to be seen by aircraft, then you should mark it like an aircraft, a steady red on the left, a steady green on the right, and a steady white on the rear.
You do know that's why we're discussing it, right?
Yeah, that's why I
Okay.
just said that.
Okay. All righty then.
But I fired that thing off, like I said, on the Mavic Pro. I had that straight up in the air at 390 feet, and I was directly underneath it. And that light was up there. And what was so funny is I heard a helicopter coming. And so I started coming down when I heard the helicopter coming. And where I could see it, that
Right.
helicopter must have seen me, because I looked at its original flight pattern and it moved to the side from where it was coming. So it would probably saw my strobe flashing up there.
Very
Now-
most likely it did.
Sometimes I think it's better just hold still when you see an aircraft coming down. You could come down into an airplane. I've had them fly under me before.
You really have?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Cow.
Yeah, I've had one fly. Literally, I was coming home. Okay, and actually, I made a video on it. I'm coming home over Lake Erie, and I get to the shoreline. And just as I get over the shoreline, this plane is literally 200-300 feet in the air, and he just buzzes by. And I mean, I had no AD, and this is Mavic Air too, so I had no ADSB warning, nothing. And had it been, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds earlier, like he crossed the path that I came home in. It was,
You did a video out of it, Ron. I saw it. I saw the video.
yeah, like that was
I gotta
bad. Like
check
it
that
scared the
out.
crap out of me. It scared the crap out because I didn't get no warning, and literally I had maybe 5 seconds from hearing the plane coming, and normally those planes, and it's just a single engine plane, and normally those planes are above 500 feet. But I guess Mitch would know this, but when you're over a big body of water, you don't have to be above 500, correct? Am I right on that? That's the research I did, Mitch. That if
That's
they're over a
true.
big body of water, they only have to be 500 feet away from any object. They don't have to be 500 feet up. But we're in legal, both in each other's legal airspace, right?
Right.
Yep.
That was scary. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you've seen that, Aiden, because I mean, it scared the crap out of me. I'm like, holy crap! I got no warning. I had 2 seconds. I see a plane coming. I'm over land. I'm down about the height of the trees, and I was able to turn the drone around to see the airplane
I see
go
it.
by
Yeah.
me.
I saw the
Wow.
video. Yep.
Holy crap.
Wow.
That would have
Yeah,
scared them.
I don't not plug in my channel, but the video's on my channel. Yeah.
See, over at my house
Yeah.
in Tennessee, I'm in apparently a flight path for maneuvers that they do off of the Army base at Fort
Right.
Campbell.
Yeah.
And there are always Fort helicopters, military, I guess, Army helicopters that come flying by near my property. I'd say within a half or 3/4 mile.
And they're the worst.
And they're
Yeah.
at treetop.
Right.
I mean, 50 feet above the trees. And it's like,
Right.
Jesus.
And you know darn well that plane hits my drone. Who's the bad guy?
Exactly.
Who's
That's
the
what
bad
I'm
guy?
saying.
Of course.
Who's the bad guy
Of
here?
course.
Yep.
The plane hit a
Well,
drone. A
and I
drone
was
hit a
gonna
plane.
I was going to say this earlier when Adrian and everybody else was talking about all the other stuff we were talking about. Is like, we have to remember, guys, one thing, a very important rule that we have to always remember. the flying SCHIET, the flying sheet, always flows downhill, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
We are the
always rolls
responsible.
downhill, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my first reaction was like, "Oh, that freaking plane's flying too low. What's he doing? He's breaking the FAA laws." You know. And here I go back and I go home before I start typing my letter to the FAA. Did my research, and over a body of water like Lake Erie, they can fly below 500 feet as long as they're not near anything else.
The law says overpopulated areas you have to be 1,000 feet
So
minimum.
now that kind of allows drones and planes to occupy the same airspace, and that's
Wait a
It
minute.
does.
That's
It
scary.
absolutely does. Legally,
That's
it does.
scary.
We
Mitchell.
have that here on the coast, Ron, because here on the ocean, the planes are always flying up and down as they go for a cruise at nighttime or even during the daytime. And then you have the guys pulling the banners.
Yeah, you have the banner guys.
They're
On
flying
warm
at what,
sun- warm-
75
warm
feet,
days.
100 feet off the ground? Yeah.
Yeah, they do that at the beach. Yeah. Mitch, what is the ceiling for regular, like say in our neighborhoods? Is it 500 feet?
For
No,
what?
You mean the floor or the
floor.
Or the floor is if you're flying VFR,
Okay.
it's 1,000 feet over any developed or populated area minimum, unless you're performing an operation of an airport operation, or you're under direct control of air traffic control. So if somebody is on an approach to Melbourne Airport, for example, and the controllers and the controller says, maintain, and he probably wouldn't, but he puts them down he clears them for an approach. Once they're cleared for the approach, if it's a visual approach, they can go as low as they want. and
Well,
be
that's
legal.
coming into Class C and all that, and we know that.
in any controlled airspace. But if you're flying over any place where there's houses or people or anything like
Right,
that, it's 1,000 feet.
1,000.
Like Ron said, you get away from that out in the middle of nowhere or out over the water. You do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 500 feet from any object at that point. You can fly 50 feet above the water if you wanted to, as long as you're not around any boats.
And
It was-
my dad actually did that a couple times. We get right down near the surface of the ocean, and he'd put it in the bank and turn, and
I
I'd look
would
over
have
there, and
to
I'd swear to
believe-
God that wingtip's going to clip them waves. You know, we'd be 20 feet off the water. It's just scary, but fun, but scary.
I
Ron,
would have
which
to
video
believe
is that of yours? The
that is
Mavic 2 fail?
that's the ADSB near miss.
Needs improvement.
No, the near miss, the
Okay.
big red one.
Oh yeah.
But I would have to believe, with drones becoming more and more populated in the sky, that's got to change. You can't, because that's where people are going to fly their drones over the water, over boats, and
They're not going to change. They're not going to
Hmm.
change the aircraft regulations for the drones. They're going to change the drone regulations
Right,
for
exactly.
the aircraft. So,
Exactly.
so I used to have an amphibious ultralight, which was an ultralight that had you landed on the water. It looked like a boat, like a
Pontoons.
Seaplane.
It had but no, it didn't have two pontoons. You actually sat inside the one thing, like the one pontoon.
Okay.
That was the fuselage of the airplane.
Yeah, the
And
hull.
we used to fly those things on the deck. Once we got out away from anywhere where there was anything built up, the fun of that was to get right down on the treetops. And then when you got past the trees and there was a lake, you'd go right down on the lake. And I'm talking a foot off the water. And that's where it was fun. And in, over in Sanford, they have Lake Monroe. You familiar with that, Jim?
Yeah.
Well, in Lake Monroe, they have one of those riverboat things.
Yep.
It's not a
Bareboats.
casino, but it's a riverboat where they have dinner cruises and everything. And one of the things that we used to do, which was the most fun, is we used to do strafing runs on the riverboat with the ultralights, and we used to come in low, headed right for them, and then we would pull up and bank and cross over the top of them, and I think the people on the boat enjoyed that more than anything else. They would be up there waving at us and taking pictures of us.
Ron, can we show your video?
sure, absolutely, if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be
all.
cool. I was going to ask if you could do that.
Want to hit? Share
Remember to
audio.
check the sound.
I
Yeah.
did. I just did it, Mel.
Good job. Good job.
I did it right. So happy with myself. Let's make sure we've got that because
Oh Lord, here goes the Hawaiian shirt again.
Absolutely, man. All day. It's all I wear. You're never going to see me in anything else. I'm clean
Almost the
shit.
same
I'm
one
bringing
he's
it in
wearing
manually,
now.
so I'm not flying over people, and I bring it to me and down and into my hands. So, that said, just as I crossed the shoreline from being over Lake Erie, here comes a private plane zinging by the coastline, and I would say at a maximum height of, it could have been 250 feet, and he crossed the path that I was returning to home in. And I don't know, maybe if I was 30 seconds later, this could have been extremely close, if not a collision. Here's what I found out. My first instinct was, oh, he's flying too low. He can't fly that low. He's breaking the rules, not me. I'm in line of sight. I'm eye on my drone. Now, was my first instinct. He's too low. Was he too low? No, he wasn't. Why? Because he was over an open body of water. And the FAA states that over an open body of water, you just have to be 500 feet away from anything, and you can fly below that 500-foot threshold. Okay, so why didn't my ADS-B go off? Isn't he supposed to have it? Isn't he required as of January 1st, 2020 to have ADS-B out? Nope. And let's look at the FAA website, and I'll show you what I mean on that too. Here it is directly from the FAA website, asking, if you ask, hey, I got a plane, do I need to equip ADS-B? It's a simple flow chart. Does your aircraft have an electrical system? Yes. Do you operate your aircraft above 10,000 feet? No. Do you operate your aircraft above or in Class B airspace? No. Do you operate your aircraft in or above Class C airspace? No.
Wow.
Do you operate your aircraft in Class E airspace above 3,000 feet, mean sea level over the Gulf of Mexico within 12 nautical miles of the U.S. coastline? No. Do you operate your aircraft within the Mode C Vale 30 nautical miles radius of any airport listed in Appendix D to Part 91? No.
Yeah.
ADS-B
but that's
not required. And that's just
that
about
only leaves
probably every...
No,
That
that covers almost every airplane. In fact, about the only airplane that could legally fly without ADS-B based on that would be like my ultralight.
Yeah, and that's what they are around my area.
Yeah.
These little single-engine, privately owned guys. One dude literally parks it in his front yard. Literally parks it in his front yard. I drive by it every day.
So those guys,
is
a lot
it
of
a
those.
passenger airplane or an ultralight?
No, just an ultralight, probably a
that's not it.
passenger type thing, right?
Yeah, but if it's a one passenger ultralight, it's not even an airplane. Requires no license. You don't need a pilot's license to fly it. If it weighs under 255 pounds and carries no more than 5 gallons of gas, it's not an airplane according to the FAA. You don't need any inspections on it. You don't need. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't.
So why didn't my ADS-B go off? Isn't he supposed to have it? Isn't he required?
I wanted to show where he shows.
Isn't he supposed to? So why didn't my ADS-B?
I wanted to show where you show the one over sparsely populated areas too, because when right there, why isn't it coming up, man?
It
There.
will if you pause it
There it is. Pause
right
that.
there.
That's right from the FAA website.
Because Mitch, where you and I were flying at in that area that's about to be built up with houses,
The compound.
when I fly out there, these planes come in 400 feet or below and circle around.
They shouldn't. That is considered a populated area. One person in a car makes it a populated area.
But now you get into the gray area. What is a sparsely populated area?
Well,
or rural
Lake
area?
Erie. I would say Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Because that's what
and
I
there's
was
a
over.
horizontal. See, it says not operated closer than 500 feet. So that's a horizontal.
No, it
measurement.
says above the surface.
Right, but then
Right,
down
keep
below it
going.
says the aircraft may not be operated closer than 500 feet to any person, vessel, vehicle, or structure.
Yeah.
So they're telling you that you have to be 500 feet away from them
Right.
horizontally.
So if you're over Lake Erie, as long as you're 500 feet away from any boat, you can fly as low as you want. Basically, the way that reads.
And Mitch, it used to be 1,000 feet. Now it looks like it's 500.
Well, no.
above the surface, except over open water, you can go lower. So an aircraft can fly down to 500 feet instead of 1,000 feet like it used to be.
They may have changed it. It used to be 1,000 feet.
It's 500 feet.
It used to be 1,000.
Yeah, it's 500
It was,
feet.
yeah.
We have aircraft flying all over the I-5 freeway here all the time, and there's no way they're at 1,000 feet. And that's where I looked it up, and I found it to be, they have to be above, and I contacted my friend who's a pilot. He says it's 500 feet above any populated area.
Well, they changed that in the past. I haven't been flying, I'd say for 8 or 9 years now, flying full scale. So not having to fly, I haven't kept up with the regs.
All right.
Last time I flew, it was 1,000 feet. So
See, now the other one's the ADS-B. Okay, my ADS-B didn't go off, so this plane obviously falls under all that flow chart of saying no, right? Or did
No, that plane-
That wasn't
is required.
that wasn't an ultralight. That was an aircraft.
so he should have had it.
Right. That was a Cessna.
He might have had it and not turned it on. He might have been a guy who said, "I don't give a shit about the rules. I'm not spending the money until somebody catches me." You never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ron, here where I live, I had a twin engine like Beechcraft flying around here, and that was the first time that my Mavic Air picked up on the air sense and picked it up. So he's doing circles over here just up the freeway from me. Once I knew where he was, I went back up higher, and because I knew I was away from him. But all of a sudden, I had 4 of the aircraft come through, and not a one of them came up.
So that's
And I
messed up.
live, as the crow flies, maybe 17 miles from a pretty good-sized airport. Well, I mean, it's not LAX, it's Orange County, John Wayne Airport. I mean, we have a lot of traffic in and out of there. And we get so much small aircraft flying up and down from there. I would say probably 50% or better I'm not picking them up when I'm flying my Mavic Air, which should
You know what?
be picking them up.
Even when it does pick it up, it doesn't track it very well. That was my other video, the one where it needs improvement. Like you see it on the map, and then you're like, okay, bring up the map. Where's it at? So I can bring my drone down. So you bring it. Like I'm like literally over Lake Erie, bringing this thing down to like 10 feet above the freaking water, and then it disappears, and then it reappears like 30 seconds later. So it doesn't do a very good job to begin with.
Ron, my complaint was there are 24 numbers on that ICAO list. Your ADS-B that shows up on your drone, at least on mine, has a bunch of dots in there. It'll start out with a couple of numbers, bunch of dots, and then a couple of numbers. So even if I wanted to report that aircraft with that ICAO number that came up on my screen, if I was screen recording or went back in air data and went back over my flight, right? I wouldn't be able to because I don't have the full ICAO number because it's too many numbers to show up on your screen.
Oh, wow.
I don't even think the Mavic Air 2 shows any numbers or anything. It just says some Chinese woman comes on and screams a bunch of gibberish, and and then you see this plane. Yeah, it's like ridiculous. Yeah, like
she goes, "You go low now. You go low now."
Look, I only speak English, so I don't know what she's saying. But it ain't. Hey, there's an aircraft in the area. It's some gibberish I don't understand.
If I'm within the rules, if I'm within 400 feet, which I normally am, I don't really have a reason to go over.
Right? No,
I don't.
I've never been over 400 feet.
If there's a plane coming by and all that, I don't land or something like that.
Well, it's your responsibility. They're going to claim that it's your responsibility.
Your responsibility. Get out of the way of the man there. Absolutely.
You have to keep an eye on the airspace. You have to have visual line of sight with your drone. You have to have situational awareness at all times. And therefore, every accident that happens is going to be your fault.
That's the thing.
As a drone pilot, period. That's the way they look at it.
I'm telling you, when you hear the roar of that engine coming, it's scary. It scares crap out of you. Yeah. It scares crap out of you.
Yeah, and helicopters too. If I'm flying any drones and I hear a helicopter, I'm down low long before that thing is overhead.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the other thing too. Those things can kind of swoop out of nowhere too. not that you can't hear them coming, but you don't have much. And going down, your drone goes down pretty slow. Sometimes it's best to just kind of hold still. I think you go down, you could go down into their path because they fly very low.
Well,
That's
it's
actually
actually
about
faster
FPV.
to go forward and down.
Maybe something. Sometimes it's just like, oh crap! I just let go and like, okay, where is it? You're looking around, but if you just have that natural reaction to come down, I mean, you may come down in their path. I mean,
Well, Ron, like with me with that helicopter, it was our sheriff's department helicopter that was flying, and I had visual sight of him. I saw where he was, but not knowing where he was, I'm coming down because I know where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
But like the planes, that plane was flying pretty quick over the coast. Most of the planes that we get around here, unless they're flying over the water, are just like lumbering along.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just hear them going, and they're just like going almost nowhere, and they're just putting along.
I
like
mean, it was just like
cruising.
in the video. The video that he just showed. It's like, I had maybe, I don't know, 5 seconds from hearing it. Like that thing kind of came out of nowhere. I couldn't hear it coming. You could hear it on the video when you hear it coming.
Well, so many times those helicopters, even if they're at 200 feet, if they're a mile away from you, you can't tell what direction they're coming from.
No, and the wind can change when you hear it too,
Right?
because the wind can control the. I mean, sound travels at X, right? If the wind is coming, if the wind is blowing,
I understand.
from the helicopter to you, you'll hear it sooner than if the wind's blowing the other way, because the air movement will help carry the sound.
Now, it's not really in
and
broken English, right? It's Chinese. It's in broken English, right?
No, it's absolutely Chinese.
Yeah,
it is
and
100% Chinese. Absolutely.
and Ron, the only time you really have to worry about it is if you hear "buy dollar" at the end.
Me love you long time.
Yeah, long time, $5.
What the hell good is it in Chinese?
Exactly, and that's the other video I made where it needs improvement because I'm sorry, press 1 for English, press 2 to learn it here, man. I mean, I don't know Chinese.
Take
But
care,
she
Tomas.
just starts ranting in Chinese, but you do get like a yellow, you'll get a yellow warning that there's one in the area that it picked up, and then red, and she starts going ballistic. Yeah,
Right.
She just starts going nuts, and when it
Now,
gets into red,
the Mavic Air 2 is the only one that has that, right?
yes, and only in America too. Only the ones sold in the United States have it. Yep, they don't.
Oh wow.
Anywhere else don't have it.
EU doesn't have it.
Well, they
That
don't
was the
need
big.
it.
That was the
It uses
two,
GPS.
remember when the whole rumors came out? There's 2 versions. Yeah, there's an American version and everybody else, and it was the one with the ADSB.
I have had it since 2018 on the Matrice only. No other drone. And I think I was telling you guys, it gets annoying, especially when I was doing the construction Mitch. You have planes that fly overhead and they want to look too. So they just go in a big circle. And at one point I was doing, when I came down to land, because I had to change batteries out, it would not let me take off again because the plane was overhead.
The planes? Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yep. I
And
told
there's
you,
no-
it
there's
keeps
no
coming up
bypass
on your
for that,
screen
is
and
there?
you're pressing the X. It gets annoying.
There's no bypass for that either, so that like if you're by an airport and you do the Lance thing and you get the code and you punch it in, then you can fly.
I think you can turn it off in the Mavic Air 2, though, which is kind of redundant, But I think you have an option to turn it off.
Yeah, you can turn it on or turn it.
What
Mine's
good is
shipped
that?
off.
Like,
Right. That's ridiculous.
yeah,
Mine's
you
shipped off.
shouldn't be able to turn it off.
Oh, look at Adrian.
Just like the planes are supposed to have it, you shouldn't be allowed to turn it off.
Show off.
You must be in
Adrian's
a
got
nice
his
area.
His new drone, man. Look
What's
at
he
this.
doing? What's he got going on?
He's
picked
got
up-
a new.
Hey,
Level
hey,
two.
hey.
He's
hey,
got a
hey,
pumpkin.
Hey,
He's got a
wait,
pumpkin
wait.
in his hand.
Shh. I'm trying to make love to it right now, but you guys won't let me. Hold on.
This is a kid show, man. Oh wait, no, not on YouTube. Wait, sorry about that. You can't say that either.
Good Bob.
Well, hello there, Bob.
Bob Casey.
Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hello, Judge. How are y'all?
Good to see you.
Mr.
There you are.
Casey.
Bob, Long time no see, Bob. How you been?
It has. How about you, Matt? You doing all right?
Yeah, doing fine.
He's
Fine.
got his new computer, but his same internet. He tells me he's always complaining about his internet, right, Bob?
Yeah. Well, man, when you live in the sticks, that's what you got to put up with.
You gotta. Did that MoFi ever work out for you, Mel? After that guy put it up,
Yeah.
it did
Yeah.
work out good.
Yeah, I was doing streams from the house with vMix and green screen and all that.
You know what I wanted to ask you?
Now, it wasn't wonderful, but it did work.
Can I hotspot from this to say the smart controller? In my case, would be the Crystal Sky, whatever that Sendin's remote controller. Will this signal be good enough to live stream?
If you have a good, strong
Are you
signal,
talking to me?
but it's very marginal. Normally, not very well.
You see how bad this is? I don't even know
Be
if
right back.
anybody's talking. I don't know if
No,
I'm walking
Bobby.
over somebody or nothing. I don't know.
No,
Is it
you're
lagging?
You
good.
got.
You're
Are
good,
you
Bob. You're
watching the
good.
stream? Are you watching the stream, Bob? You got the audio on from the stream. It'll be delayed.
No. I muted the screen. I have it on my phone.
Okay.
I've got faster speed on my phone, believe it or not. That's terrible, ain't it? And the money I pay is crazy to get this internet here. But anyway,
That is.
I was wanting to say something. I didn't know if you guys had heard this. Does any of you guys remote control? If you don't turn it off, does it beep?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Mine
It's
did
called-
yesterday. It
it's
was the
called,
first time
hey,
that happened to me. And I looked
5
at my
minutes.
wife. I said, "Is that your phone?" And she said, "No." I said, "I don't have any tones like that. It's not mine." So the next thing I know, she looks at me and says, "It's your drone." And so I reached back and grabbed the pouch. And I had a crew cab truck, and I get it up in front, and I look at it. That remote is going off, man. That's the first time that's ever happened to me.
Yep. It's called.
I
it's-
wanted it done. It was loud where I was at, and I tried to beep it. When I tried to shut it down, and I thought I had a long enough second press on it, and I did it. And I put it back, thinking it was off, not looking at the little bar lights. And man, it was beeping away. I'm glad it was on there.
Yep. It happened
Hey,
to
that
me,
was too
Bob.
strong.
You're not the only one. It's called "Hey Dummy, you left the
I was
remote
mixing
on."
them up.
I've done it. I've done it.
Hey,
Damn, I must
Steve,
be good. I haven't done it yet.
you
I haven't
gotta.
had-
We gotta start a new thing. Instead of "Hey dummy," it's "Hey dipstick."
But I'll tell
Dipstick.
you
There we
what.
go.
When you have a couple of remotes and you start fishing for the right one, because I've got a bunch sitting in the cabinet, and you got to look for which one it is, because the light only blinks when it beeps. Well, on mine anyway.
Oh. Well, if you got 5 of them sitting next to each other, you got to wait and see which one it is.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Because
Yeah,
mine
well-
only it'll beep like once a minute. I don't know how yours goes, Bob.
It was more than once a minute. It was constant. Beep,
Wow.
beep, beep. It was just putting out. You know, if it was one a minute, as noisy as it was, I would have never heard it. But it was constant.
So
Constant.
that's actually
Wow.
better than mine. Yeah, better system.
That's cool.
You don't want that battery draining out, boy. You don't want to kill that battery.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell you what, that battery in the MA2, it's got 2 batteries in it, and it puts out the power enough where you can charge your phone if you get low on your cell or whatever. You can charge it up.
It's got 2
yeah.
batteries.
The other controllers do that too.
Yeah, one on each side, I believe. Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
you can charge your phones for
Ryan's
your,
got one. Steve's got one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
got 2
the
batteries,
length,
doesn't it?
the length,
Am I
the
wrong?
length of the power on the controller on the Air 2, Mel, that thing is like unbelievable.
Dude.
I have yet to charge it. I've had 6 flights and I've not recharged it.
Wow.
Oh,
I've flown that thing quite a bit, and it's probably not gone below. I've yet to have it go below 2 lights. I probably charged it maybe that I can think of 3 times since I had it. Like, that controller, yeah, it lasts forever. It does.
That's
Now,
incredible.
I don't know how if that affects kind of the range. Would that affect no?
No.
Just if
No.
it has 2 lights, it has the same range as when it's full battery. Then yeah, that thing lasts forever. Yeah, I probably charged it 3 times, and never it went below 2 bars.
That means they got a lot of milliamp battery there with not a whole lot of drain on it. Then
Yeah,
They brag about in the specs like a 4,000 or milliamp. So I'm just
I think it is
saying
somewhere
that off the
around
top.
there, actually.
Yeah, they were talking about the fact that it's a huge battery and so you can charge your phone from it while you're flying.
Ah.
Yeah, it does charge the phone while you're flying. Yep.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of that, Mitch, I can't shut that off. The best I can do is put it on, it says small current. Either large current or small current. There's no off.
On the USB, yeah, I don't know if you can turn that off or not. I have no idea.
No, you plug that phone in, it's charging.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't want it to charge, it's going to charge it.
oh really? Because on the other controllers, I think you have to actually turn it on to make them charge
Really?
your device.
Even like I got a Phantom controller, it charges it too, doesn't it? That was the old Phantom 4. It charges it.
Yeah, but those are big controllers. They got big batteries.
Yeah,
in
but
them, too.
I don't think you turned it
Well,
off.
I thought you had to turn that on to make it work, though.
No option that I know of.
I can't shut it off. It says small or large. Those are my options.
Really?
And that's because the Descendants remote controller has its own battery, and then the same size battery, all right, also has to go into the Crystal Sky. So you're already using 2 batteries to run the fans. Both the Crystal Sky and Descendants have fans in them.
And that's
So-
not a big battery. That Crystal
No.
Sky battery is not a big
Right.
battery.
Let me get it. I got it sitting right here. But I don't want to charge my phone or something else.
Well, guys, I'm going to take this quiet opportunity here to say goodnight to everybody and bug on out. I'll wait till Mel gets his headphones on. Mel, I'm going to say goodnight to you. I'm going to go out and smoke a cigar, I think, and relax, and I'll watch the stream. So
I sent you a text.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
The one
I
where
don't
you
even know
said-
what size that is, Mitch.
it should say on there. It's not real big though.
God,
I
my
think
eyes.
I replied to your text. I told you don't worry about it. Mel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick the thing in an envelope, put a couple, probably won't take more than 1 or 2 stamps, and just send a first class mail. It'll get there just as fast anyway. It'll take 3 days maybe.
Okay.
So I'll make that cable up for you tomorrow, and I'll maybe have it done in time to get out in tomorrow's mail to you.
That'll be
That's
cool.
nice
Thank
of you.
Very nice.
Oh, listen, that's, no problem. It gives me a chance. I like to solder, so it gives me a chance to play with the soldering iron.
Mitch is the best.
Now, just
Thank
for curiosity of the question,
Take care, Professor.
All right,
standard.
before you get into that, I'm going to bug out, and I will see you guys the next time. Bob,
Take it
Casey,
easy,
good
Mitch.
good to
Always a
see you,
pleasure
man.
to talk
Steve,
to you.
take care. Jim, thanks for having me. Mel, Ron, adios, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye-bye,
Mitch.
Mitch.
Take care, Mitch. Standard Mavic 2 controller.
Right.
I'm going to turn it on. It's at 92% battery. It's going to automatically turn on the tablet because I have it plugged into
I'm
it.
back out too, I guess. I didn't mean to quieten everybody down.
Okay. So what I'm going to do
Stop
is
talking,
I'm just going to
Everybody
let the
got
tablet
quiet.
boot up and punch
You
in
guys
my
take care.
password. Are you leaving too, Bob?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
he's
Bye, Bob.
lagging. He's lagging bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, he does have a bad leg. Now,
Hey.
right there, the battery is not showing charging.
Really?
On the controller, it's not.
No,
On the
on the
iPad.
tablet.
Yeah.
If it was charging, it would show me that it's being charged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a switch?
I
Controller?
imagine if I go and I see, that's why I say I thought you could turn that off
Actually,
with the original factory controllers.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about the DJI Mavic 2 Pro?
Doesn't matter. It's a Mavic 2 controller, Pro or
Okay.
Zoom.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Cause I know on my Mavic 2 Zoom, on my Pro, on my Mavic Air 2, I have the choice to turn that off. I could leave it on or I could turn it off on mine.
Exactly. That's what I thought. If I wanted this one to charge my device battery,
Correct.
I would have to go in the app and turn it on.
Exactly. Yes. Now I don't know why would you say that you cannot turn that off, Jim? Because you should.
No, it just says either small current or large current. Don't ask me why.
Well,
man.
but Jim, you're talking about a different drone, right, Jim? You're talking
exactly.
about
You got to be talking about the different drone.
Yeah. See, so that's different.
Okay.
But, like Ron was saying, he plugs in and it just automatically charges.
I plug that in. That little thing pops into my phone and says, bloop, charging.
Yeah. See, try it with some of your other aircraft because I know there's a setting in the Go4 app you can turn that on or off.
In the Go4? Then I didn't know.
Now, I don't know about the Mavic Air 2. Can you turn it off in the Mavic Air 2?
I don't think so,
Adrian?
And I've kind of been through that. Really?
Ron, it does. Because
where?
You have to go in the app. It under the battery section, it gives you a choice to turn it off or turn it on. I don't know because I've done it before.
Hey, I'm not calling you a liar. I just never seen it. That's fine.
I'm not saying you are, brother. I'm just saying I've seen it. I'm
I'm blown away. Like every time I plug that in, that little charging sensor comes on my phone and go bloop.
Because you have it on. Because you have it on. You can turn it off.
And that's fine. I would rather it be on rather than my phone die.
Yeah,
trying to find
all of their
even with that thing on, like that controller just doesn't die, man.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that controller thing must be a beast then.
But you can turn it on and off on the what am I going to call them? Prosumer, consumer drones. Now on the heavy lifters, I'm not sure if there's a setting to turn that on or off or not. Because I've never owned one. I don't know much about them.
Hey, Ron, on my Mavic Air 2, and I've had enough for a little while. I've only charged that remote only twice. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just told him. I charged that thing maybe 3 times.
That's what they're talking about, Adrian.
And I've been flying it a lot, man. I've been flying
me too. I charged that thing maybe 3 times. And probably only needed to charge it once.
Yeah.
This one, if I fly it for total of about 2 hours on this controller, I'm down to about 60% on this controller.
That's not bad. 2 hours.
On the smart controller, not down that much in 2 hours time, but
still, that's 3, 4, 5 batteries, 2 hours worth. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm doing a commercial job or something, without charging the device, I get plenty of runtime. Mm-hmm. What do you got, Jim? We can't see it.
Hey guys,
make yourself big or something. We can't see it, buddy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
I don't know if this camera's going to do it.
Hey, Jim, I'm about to go to bed, man. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for having me in, man.
Take it easy, Adrian.
Good night, Adrian.
Steve, Ron, Mel, love you too, brother. Hey, check that out about the battery. Trust me, when you see it, let me know.
100% believe you.
Everybody in the chat, man, love you guys. I'll talk to you later, man.
I'm going to be going in a few minutes, too.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I was looking for that. I was just noticing that today. It said small current or large current. That was my only options.
Well, fish around in there and see if there's a way to turn it off.
Yeah.
Because I know on these, on the smaller birds, you can turn it off.
I guess I got to be connected to the drone because I just tried to do it and I couldn't even find what friggin' page it was on.
Yeah, no, you got to be connected.
That's a pain in the ass, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You can't make any adjustments without the bird connected.
Yeah. And then then you're burning battery time on the bird.
Exactly. Yep.
Bob Casey's going to wear his motors out, man. He's only had that thing like a month,
79 flights and 20 hours of flight time.
Wow.
What? 79 flights and 20 hours of flight time.
Holy shit.
He gets one more flight, he's going to be due for an oil change.
Bob, I only had 24 hours of flight on my Matrice total. That's all I had. Caught you, Matt. Caught you in time.
Hi, good morning, Matt. He's got to be in the morning, right? Matt. He's definitely morning, right?
He just woke up.
Oh, look at him. He's all chipper and everything. You know, he's not like, oh, yeah, mate, I had 2 bottles of wine already. You know, this is first thing for him.
Got it in May.
I think I'm ready for There we go. That's better. Where are we? Why can't I hear anything here?
Testing,
We hear you.
testing.
We hear
We
you
hear
good.
you fine.
Here we go. Gotcha. Beautiful. I've got about 5 minutes. He's wrapping it up anyway, eh?
Yeah, we'll give you.
Just in time to say howdy, Matt. Jim, thank you. Steve, Ron, everybody in chat, Bob, Mike
Always a
B,
pleasure, Mel.
everybody. It's my
How's that
bedtime.
haircut?
Take
I
care, Mel.
overslept. I overslept this morning. I usually get to work about 7. I shut my alarm off at 5 instead of hitting snooze, and I didn't wake up until 10 to 7.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so today tomorrow I gotta get up. I got a long day tomorrow. And I'm taking Thursday and Friday off, so I can't screw up tomorrow. I gotta be on time.
Oh no. Yep. Absolutely. Take it easy, Mel.
Good night, guys.
So long,
Good night. Be safe.
Thank
See you,
you.
mate.
You know, there was a couple of speed limits broken there
Yep.
on the way to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Stoplight? What was that?
We've all been there, eh?
Hey, yellow means hurry up. The thing's about to turn red. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
How are you,
Well, I heard a
Matt?
few. I was just saying, I was listening to a few of the conversations while I was getting ready too. With the ADSB and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, pretty interesting stuff, you know. And it seems to, like you were saying, Ron, with the it didn't have one. You didn't even know the aircraft was there. Was that right?
No, never went off. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I had about 5 seconds to figure out where that thing is and get the hell out of the way.
Yeah, and then of course,
and he was low, and he was
Yeah.
very low. Yeah, it was
And of
scary.
course-
It scared the crap out of me. Like,
well, that's right. And you know what?
Scared the crap out of me.
And as you said, it's your fault too if something happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm 107 certified. Like, I try to follow all the rules all the time. I'm not one of these idiots that's going to send it out 3 miles just to make a video. Like, I really try to follow the rules all the time. Like, I panic when I lose sight of my drone, and to look up and see a plane that close to me, that's no good, man. That's no good.
Yeah.
So
Well, that-
did we decide on that he did break the rules by flying that low?
No, he didn't, because he was over Lake Erie. He wasn't 500. He was more than 500 feet away from anything. I'll give him that, because he was about probably, I'd say 500 feet easily off the shore, but he was only about 200 feet off the surface of the water. But that's like, he literally went through my path home. Like, that was my return to home path.
Right.
And I was bringing it in manually. I could see the drone. I didn't need to hit return to home and have it go up to 350 feet and come down. Like, I'm bringing it home, and he just buzzes by where I was. So yeah, that was scary. That was just all bad, man. All bad. Like,
Yeah, when you got a bird in the air, that's one thing.
That's
I've had my boat out here in Dana Point, and we were headed up to Newport Beach, and I'm on plane and we're running up. We're doing about 27 knots, and we're cruising up and we're talking, and all of a sudden I hear this noise, and I'm going, "What the hell? Is that my engine?" And all of a sudden, my friend looks around and he turns around and he taps me on the shoulder and he goes like this. There's two P-51 Mustangs that couldn't have been 200 feet off the deck. Boom, right over the top of us, and they start tilting their wings as they fly by us, and kept on going.
And that's what was scary about it, because after going home and looking up on the FAA, like, was this guy, like, I want to report this guy,
Right.
And they come to find out that he's not breaking a law, and neither am I. But we could have collided, like, very simply. Like,
But
I'm,
it looked
I'm
to
sorry,
me like-
30 seconds earlier, he's in my path.
Yeah.
And it looked to me like when you did show him
Mm-hmm.
that as he was coming across the shoreline and the houses, he was still that low.
Yeah,
didn't
but
do any-
he was over the water, and I would say easily 500 feet off the shoreline,
Sure.
but no, not more than 250 feet off the surface of the water.
Yeah,
And
you can-
and I was way out. I was probably out, 700-800 feet chasing a boat or whatever, and I was coming home, and I'm probably 300 feet in the air when I decided to come home. But he's, like, I'm serious, like 30 seconds earlier, and I would have had a real good shot of a plane while in the air. If not,
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It would have
Something
been
else.
his fault. It would have been Ron's fault.
Absolutely. That it would have been the whole thing on the press. Plane hits a drone, crashes into Lake Erie, man dies. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if I've told you or not, Ron, but I've told these boys before when I was doing some footage down the beach. Now you can't hear jack shit coming. Now there was a shark spotting plane, lots of waves, all this sort of shit. You can't hear it until it's right on you and past you. And I just finished going a backward shot out like this up to 400, right in the path. Now he was nowhere near 400, mate. You know, because he's flying low. And there's another situation there where I could have hit that plane.
Yeah, it's scary. Like, I don't know, should I go up? Should I go down? Luckily, I was at the shoreline and at the tree level when it happened. But, you know, again, 20 seconds earlier, should I go up? Should I go down? I literally had, you could hear it in the video coming. Like, I had 5 seconds.
Yeah,
and,
you could
and by
hear
the
it.
time, and like just literally the time it turn the drone around just so I could get a shot of it, he's already by me. It was
You know,
just-
it's a hard
was-
decision to make. It's
Mhm.
a very hard decision to make too, whether to go up or down, because you really don't know what that aircraft is. It's hard to tell whether
Right.
an aircraft is actually at 400 because it looks like it might be a lot lower. You can tell a drone's at 400, but aircraft are funny. You know, it's a you can't
right,
really.
and I'm
judge
nowhere
it.
near
No,
400.
I still can't judge them when I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
I can't judge them.
So if you punch it and you go to 400, he might be at 400 and you
Right.
might hit him. I mean, obviously, if you're going to get out of the way or something, going up's a lot quicker than coming down. So you know, what do you do?
Right.
The only thing you can try is the only thing you can think about is okay. Hopefully, he's not below 400, and I'll just drop me drone. You know,
You
or
know,
bring it down.
What you're saying is true because when it's coming down, it's fighting through the wind it's creating. So it's
Right.
actually either safer to come down and go forward at the same time or backwards, whatever it would be, because you're fighting your own prop wash.
Right,
Or go
exactly.
up.
Yep.
Or go up.
Yeah, it goes up a lot faster than it goes down. That's for sure.
I saw today when I was just kind of flight checking this matrice I got back. I was bringing it up and bringing it down. You can see it'll do a wobble on its way down when you've got it coming fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does fight its own. Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
The Mavic one's really bad for it. All the way down.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Even the Phantom. I mean, you try to bring that thing down fast, it does the same thing. It's fighting its own wake.
Yeah, it's buffering.
Well, I've got to go,
Always.
fellas. I've got to go to work. Been lovely. 5 minutes. I've got to nick off.
Good seeing you, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Matt.
Always.
Be safe, Matt.
Shall do. Take care, all. Have a great week, and I'll catch you maybe on the weekend sometime.
Yeah.
Friday.
Take care.
Friday
Jaggers.
night.
Cheers. See you later.
Aim straight at the plane and go forward. By the time you get there, he's gone past.
There's a tip.
That's true, right?
Well, what I had here, I was down getting a sunset shot down at the harbor, and like I said, we have these planes that fly along with these banners. This Yohu, and I'm gonna call him a Yohu. I'd use a few other adjectives. He's flying no more than 300 feet. I'm at 325. He's no more than 300 feet, and he is over homes, over traffic, turning inland, and then coming up, because we have what they call Dana Point. I don't know if you've ever seen my videos where you see it. I'm shooting at the mouth entrance. So the point is like over here at this point to where the mouth entrance is here. He's flying over the whole entire harbor and going over, and he's not even 300 feet in the air. So I heard this noise because from the way the wind was blowing, and I looked over, man, I'm just throttling down as fast as I can come to get out of this Yohu's way.
I'll give you an example. Like I went down to Virginia Beach, I don't know, maybe a month ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take my drone down. That'd be a great place to fly. Well, here, come to find out, the whole Virginia Beach area is restricted airspace for a military base, not more than 5 miles behind the beach. Right. But there are airplanes flying with that, that banner, and they're 250, 350 feet off the ground. But yet these guys can fly, but I can't put a drone up 150 feet to kind of get a picture of the landscape. It's just, you know what? some of that shit just pisses me off. Now, granted, there were military operations all day long on Virginia Beach. Like it's no kidding a military airspace, no doubt. But yet these other planes can fly with their banners over the beach, but yet I can't put a drone up 150 feet to get some shots.
What's that, Jim?
Is that Virginia
Drone
Beach?
safety map. No, it's actually by my house. I wanted to throw this in the chat while we still got a few guys here. I know you got all kinds of apps and stuff you guys can use, but this one's on Altitude Angel. It's just a drone safety app if you ever care. Because I know in SkyVector, around me, I have a lot of lanes because we've got an airport right by us.
Are you in Florida? That's what it looks like. You're in Florida?
Yeah. I've got a lot of aircraft lanes. If you look on SkyVector, they're called V lanes. And the airport is right here. And I'm flying in it half the time. Well, you can't see it because of the damn red. But see, this is a causeway. And you've got I-95 runs right through here.
Where are you at in Florida?
In Palm Bay, Melbourne area.
Is that like near, that's like
Right.
Cape Canaveral, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holy crap. You are in some serious restricted airspace.
There's the Space Center right there.
Holy shit. How can you even fly a drone?
I've got a wide area certificate of authority. But
Oh, right on.
anyway, there's your problems. That's the Space Center right there.
Yeah.
That orange one.
Holy Christ.
Yeah,
But-
I've got a little bit of an area that comes south of me, Ron, where I'm at. The only time I'm pretty much open. I'm really pretty fortunate.
Yeah, so am I.
Um,
You know.
I'll share
you.
my map here where I'm at. Jim will pop it up if he doesn't mind.
Yeah, there it is.
Where I'm at is I'll bring my mouse over here. I don't know if you see my mouse hand here moving around. It's white. Where it says Dana Point right there. I'm just
Yeah, I
in,
see Dana Point. Okay.
yeah, I'm just inland. So I'm not sure. This blue area, that's military. This is Camp Pendleton. That's down
Yeah,
over here.
so you're in a pretty good spot.
But I'm wide open in here. And then the airport I was talking about, this is John Wayne Airport up here at the top left corner.
Yeah, but you can get Lance there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we have Lance permission there. And then the smaller areas here are strictly that you see the small green circles are strictly
Yeah, those ain't.
heliports.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
I don't
then
have
we have
Lance yet. I wonder if you guys are liking Lance or not liking Lance.
I've used it a couple of times. Yeah, it works. I mean, sure, if I'm in a space that says, yeah, like you zoom in on that, it'll tell you how high you can fly.
Yeah, I was just going to do it so people could see it.
Yeah, so click on like one of the 200s. Like click on one of the 200s.
Oh, look at that 50 foot or 0
Yeah,
foot.
50,
That's-
yeah, like 0 is near the airport, 100 feet. If you click on like a 200 and you say, hey, that's where I want to fly, they'll give you clearance. They'll okay you as long as you say your flight is under 200 feet.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah. I mean, it works. You know,
Well, I'm flying in
one of
those
the greatest
zero
places.
areas.
Yeah, like you can fly in those.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
don't have Lance. I've got a certificate of authority,
Sure.
which I think, I don't know. I think when Lance comes in, I may have more of a harder time because I think when Lance comes in, they're going to get rid of certificates of authority
Really?
right off the bat. They'll say, you have the Lance system, use it. And then I'll have to go through and get different clearances because you can see the map showing 0.
You're right. Yeah, it shows like right now as a hobbyist or a 107, these are what you can fly. Like
Right.
As 107, I can pick any of those that are 100 or 200, and it will give me authority, and it'll say how long you're gonna fly, blah blah blah. You know, okay, good, okay, fine. Your flight, you can fly between 3 and 3:30 at this place, but only 200 feet, and it'll give you the authority, and you have all that, and it lets you do it. Like I said, I live 30 miles east of Cleveland. I would love to fly the city of Cleveland. Like there's the Brown Stadium. There's all kind of stuff that you could fly around. but it's right next to an airport. Like literally the city of Cleveland is 100% zero, even for Lance. Like you can't get near the city of Cleveland for some reason. But like a lot of cities you can fly. Memphis and, you know, Pittsburgh you can actually fly. But
Yeah.
Cleveland, nope. Even out on the lake, even out on Lake Erie, like you can't get near the city of Cleveland because it has two airports. One, you got Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, just I don't know, maybe 8-10 miles off the shore. But then you have this lakefront, this Burke Lakefront Airport, and it's kind of a smaller airport, but it's like right on the coast. So like literally the entire city of Cleveland is just like no fly, like it sucks. And it's the only big city around me. Like, you know, I'm sorry, I live in Northeast Ohio. You have Cleveland, and then rest of it's either wine country or farm country. Yeah, there's so much stuff I'd love to fly in Cleveland. Big ships, you know, buildings, cities, you know, stadiums, whatever. Can't get near Cleveland with a drone. Ain't happening. And any video you see on YouTube that's a drone in Cleveland is 100% illegal.
This is the part that gets me is this red TFR that's been there since 2014. That's Disney. That's Disneyland.
Oh, it's Disney. Yep, can't fly over Disney either. Yep.
Now look at
for that. Trust me, they paid for that.
This is Fullerton Airport, which runs right like this across here. And when you're looking at it, it's crazy because, Jim took it off.
That's Disney World.
Yeah, they paid for that. Trust me. Disney paid for that. Disney's a scam.
Yep.
3 miles all around them.
Yep, Disney paid for that.
And then you got Orlando International Airport, Orlando Executive Airport. I forget what this airport's called. And of course, the blue is the Space Center.
Oh, yeah. Like where you at, unless you have what you have, you ain't flying nowhere near Orlando or Kennedy Space Center or Port Canaveral. I've been down to that port many times. I cruise a lot, and I've cruised out of Port Canaveral many times. And, yeah, you ain't flying down there.
They tried to put their own authority in because they have the Port Authority, because it's an actual port. They tried to put their own rules and regulations into place. Where you, someone was talking about that earlier, where you would have to apply for the airspace. Oh, no, that was on another show I was listening to.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you know as well as I do, the FAA controls the airspace. They can put all the freaking rules and whatever they want. They can control where I can take off and land, but they ain't controlling the airspace. Only the FAA does. And, yeah, Port Canaveral is definitely no fly for anybody. You got to have whatever you got, but whatever I got, I ain't flying.
Jim, I've got a question for you. Going out of where all the cruise ships come in and out of, do they have any restrictions from distance from the cruise ships that you have to be?
No. You can fly a cruise ship as long as it's not in a restricted airspace. You can't fly. I don't think you can fly over a cruise ship. That's flying over people, technically.
Well, the reason I asked that is because in a boat, you have to stay 100 yards away from any cruise ship. That's been in effect for almost 10 years. So my question would be is what's the difference between not being able to fly a boat if they're worried about, Department of Homeland Security that some Yahoo decides to attach something onto a drone and go out there versus a boat?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
I've seen guys chase boats, the cruise ships out.
I love cruise
Miami
ship
all the
chases.
time.
Yeah,
all the
time. That whatever his name is, I forget his name, but he chases cruise ship. Dude, I love his videos. Like that.
They're
that is
great.
Such a great video to chase a cruise ship like that. But he never flies over them.
No,
he never flies over them. But he'll get close enough, and people hold up signs to wave at him or whatever. But dude, that dude's videos are great.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
He's crazy because he flies 2 miles
so
out.
Far out. Yeah,
he's flying out of line, and he's gonna get in trouble for that. But the video is great. Like I wouldn't do it, but
just for the tropical winds. Just for the winds, he has to fight.
I tell you, I
flew
in the Bahamas. I actually got a permit to fly in the Bahamas. All right. And they sent me the list of all their rules. All right. And,
Yeah, I remember.
And none of their rules were a visual line of sight.
Wow.
So I actually we stopped at a place called Princess Key, and the cruise ship actually has to anchor about a mile out because the water's so shallow. So they tender us to the island, and it's a mile away. I brought my drone with me, brought the Phantom 4 with me on a backpack, got to the beach, and I flew the Phantom 4 back to the cruise ship to get a nice, good shot of the cruise ship. And I followed they got to stay, 150 feet away from the boat or whatever, any vessel, blah, blah, blah. But none of their rules says visual line of sight. So I flew that sucker out a mile to go back to that cruise ship to get good shots of that cruise ship.
How far is there a rule about how far away you have to stay away from a cruise ship?
It's 50 meters. So basically 150 feet or whatever is what I calculated. I'm sure it's a little, whatever meters and feet, but I go by 3 feet per.
I didn't even know that rule was there.
But in the Bahamas, I actually had to get a permit from the Bahama Air Authority or whatever, the BCAA or whatever it is. I actually had to apply for it. I got it. It's free, but you have to apply for it. And their rules are, 50 feet, 50 meters away from any vessel, not over people, blah, blah, blah. They have very few rules, but none of them are visual line of sight. And so I was able to fly that thing back out to the cruise ship a mile away to get back to the cruise ship to actually take pictures of it. And I stayed what I could judge in my,
I've seen Paul Murray do those ships in Port Huron and all
Right.
that. And I often wondered, none of that radar messes with his signal and all that.
Those things are probably at such a high frequency that the drone probably doesn't even bother drone.
It doesn't mess with them, yeah.
No, because they're probably such a high frequency because those go such long range. Yeah, I flew up. I would say I got 50 meters from a cruise ship, and literally circled this cruise ship and never had not a single issue with the Phantom 4 standard connectivity. Nothing.
I like the Phantom 4.
Oh, I love it. I think that thing is just such an iconic drone. I mean, you can have the Pro, you can have the Pro V2. That drone right there, that thing set the standard, man. That thing really did.
It started it all for me.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely did. That is such a great drone. And it still is today. 12 megapixel camera, 4K 30. That thing is that's a good drone, man.
It's a gateway drone, right?
Yep,
a gateway
absolutely.
drone.
Gateway drone. That's a good term for a gateway drone. And you can get that thing for like $400 or $500 maybe right now. You could probably get a Phantom 4 standard around $500, $600 tops.
And that damn camera is still being used across the spectrum. Scadio 2, same camera.
If I need to fly in high winds, I'm taking that sucker right there. Piss on, whatever this, 4K 60 with the Mavic Air 2 and all that. If I know it's going to be windy, I'm taking that sucker right there with the googly eyes and everything.
Come to think of it, I don't remember ever seeing on the screen it saying propulsion lowered because of wind. I'll get propulsion limited. That comes on the screen. It says propulsion limited. I've never seen that on a Phantom 4.
No, dude, I'm not kidding. I flew this thing out on Lake Erie. I mean, waves are crashing in. We're talking 30-mile gusts. We're 40-mile gusts. This thing was windy. The waves are crashing. This thing is coming back to me. I'm flying it back to me. It's coming back to me at an angle like this, and that camera is still dead nuts center. And the video is just like it's just flying back to me perfectly. But I'm looking at the drone, and this drone is flying back to me at a 45-degree angle, and this thing is dead nuts center on me. Like, I'm sorry, that thing can handle 40-mile-an-hour winds, no problem.
All right, guys. Canada's about to allow beyond visual line of sight. I believe it.
Oh,
Canada's ahead of us, man.
Yeah, it's coming for us too.
Yeah.
As soon as they get that remote ID, they'll give it to us.
I want to see when it's like right now we have no rights to anything at all, and that was kind of the point of tonight's show. I mean, we have to take what they hand us and say, thank you, sir. You know what I mean? Right? It's your money, but it's like almost like you're renting the damn thing. If you can return it to get it fixed, and they'll send you somebody else's.
Yeah, that's
how do you know how many hours are on the motors?
That's messed up.
Basic maintenance.
Mm-hmm. What they did to you is, that's no good. That's bad.
Never got an answer. Not one answer from anybody.
I can't believe you can't talk to somebody about that. That's hard. That's hard to swallow from a guy who has had pretty good conversations with DJI support.
Well, I'll be back on there with them, but
you see what Gary?
I call him every day.
Yeah,
trying to get someone else.
They're looking at 500 feet AGL too for them.
Wow. Well, then you would have to see that wouldn't work in America because they're not about to change the AGL for aircraft. For general aviation. We'll suffer before they ever do.
Yeah, it's like you said. They'll change the rules for us before they change the rules for the planes.
No, there wouldn't be. But the plane is 500 feet.
Yeah, right.
They want us 100 feet separated.
Exactly. They want that because you're going to have idiots that go above 400 feet and planes that come below 500.
Well, I have. I mean, I was when I got my drone when I first had it, and I was flying it around a lot, and I went up there to throttle up. Mm-hmm. Next thing I knew, 423.3 feet.
I was at 1,000 feet one time.
It went through so quick, my head spun.
I'll tell you, I went through my DJI records one time, and it says I have a flight of 1,200 feet. Dude, I've never been above 400 in my life. Somehow I have a record on my DJI freaking flight record that says I was at 1,200 and some feet.
I tried out an app. I can't remember the name of it now, but now it's out of beta and actually in use. And it was supposed to do all the measurements of a house for you and all that crap. Well, as soon as I turned on DJI Go, and then you turn on this app, and the app takes over the drone with the mission that you planned. The friggin' drone, and before I could stop it, I was already up at 1,000 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Gary,
that was wild.
We have that too, Gary, in the Central Valley and over in what they call the Coachella Valley, Imperial Valleys. Crop dusters are just flying. What's fun is when you're going up the I-5 in the middle of the nighttime in the summer, because these guys will be flying on the deck, just like you're saying. They're only 15, 20 feet off the deck, and they're out there spraying all the fields, and they'll be paralleling the freeway. And then during the daytime, you'll see them. That's when they'll cut across the freeway.
Hey, Craft King.
Yeah, they keep records of all your flights.
Keep your own records of your flights.
Right.
You don't need DJI's information. Get air data and know
air data. That's a really cool site.
And know what your drone is doing. You don't have to wait to be told.
Do you use Ron? Do you have it?
You just got it.
Yes, I just got it last week. Talking to Jim here. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's free to start off with. I've got the paid version because of my batteries and everything.
I'll probably end up with the paid version before very long. Yeah, but I thought it was an amazing website. But
once you go over 6 batteries, it was a problem once I had the Inspires, because then you have the Inspire batteries and the Phantom 4 batteries, and that's like, crap. All right, $15 a month. Here we go. So I've been doing that for 3 years now. Yeah, but I've never regretted.
But it came in handy with this BS you got going on now. That's for sure.
But the thing is, Ron, even though you have the proof,
yeah.
Who cares, Jim?
It's like right there, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't care about your proof.
Nobody gives a damn.
You can take that right there, man.
They only give a damn when you screw up.
Yep.
And that's gotta change.
They love telling you how you screwed up so you can't use their warranty or whatever. Oh, yeah, they love telling you how you can't screw up. But when you hand them the proof, like, that's not my freaking drone, dude.
That's what I said. Where the hell did all that damage come from? Was my first question.
Incredible.
Are you looking at the
Absolutely
same video that I sent to you of the day? I took a video the day I sent the drone out. Steve will tell you. Video and pictures. Doesn't matter. Didn't care.
Yep.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Thanks everybody for coming tonight. Really appreciate you.
Jim,
Take it
thank
easy,
you.
guys.
Ron, thank you. And everybody
Hey.
in chat. Have a
Thanks for
wonderful
having
rest
me,
of your
Jim.
evening.
It's always great.
Thanks, buddy.
Take it easy.
All right, guys.
Take care, Ron. Be safe.
You too.